Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop on these charts, finish out the week strong on this beautiful Friday, April 10th, make sure you view what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who's adjusting his camera here to make sure you can see my ugly face. I'm just an idiot yapping on YouTube for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research, make your own decisions, especially your own trading decisions. Nothing I say or do here or anywhere else is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Always do your own research, make your own decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if funded prop from accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stay to make money from links and codes in my content. Lights up on futures code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Important for me to note that, and for you to do your own research and make your own damn decisions. Chat, what's going on, guys? I realized my light is not on either. I'm all over the place this morning, guys. What's up? What's up? What's up? Good morning in the chat. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let me set up this secondary. I forget which iPhone is which. Just for the record, I have this is a 15 Pro Max. This is the 17 or 16 Pro Max, 17 Pro Max. I use another Pro Max for continuity camera. I'm Apple's biggest customer, man. They're absolutely rinsing me. But hang on, guys. I am trying to get you my pretty face in 4K when we clip this bad boy up. Taking hella dubs. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry. Not how I wanted to start the stream. I was so early today too, man. It's alright, we're gonna hop on and keep the win streak rolling. I can feel it. There we go. There we go, friends. Look at that. Now the sun is shining down on me, man. Y'all remember that church song? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. That's what we got going on today. Good morning, guys. I'm coming with big energy today, guys. Honestly, I'm overcompensating because I'm so horribly tired and I slept way later than I was supposed to. I struggled through a 3-mile run. It was pathetic. So I'm trying desperately to come to the other side of that and just overcompensate and hype myself up. Get ready for the good day. Come on, man. Let's go. All right, chat. What's up, guys? That was a lot. All right, now I'm going to take a nap. Jake, what's up? Dwayne, what's up? Johnny, what's up? Afters, Maritime Trader, Pam, what's happening? Evan, 30MD, Glenn B. We got everybody on stream today. Hansel, Dumond, Newts, San the Trader, Abraham. San, what happened? Did you get hacked on Discord or something, man? I had to kick you. I got banned from Discord. I got hacked again after clicking scammer's link. I changed my password. All right, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. Don't worry, San. I'll come back to you. Kick. Dumond, what's up? Kobe Clark, what's up? Janaeus, what's up? Jess, what's up? Good morning. Let's go, guys. I can feel it. Pam said a singer. No, not a singer. Just an absolute sociopath desperately trying to cultivate that energy, bro. Sometimes you have to do it. Sometimes you just have to... you're really tired, you just gotta scream. All right, let's talk markets. I know this was an insane intro, guys, but that's where I'm at today. It's Friday. We're on an absolute heater. Been crushing it, and we're gonna see if we can't keep that rolling. We are here logged in to the same damn Top 1 Futures live account that I've been trading. I have to double check. I can't remember if it's 25, 26, 27 payouts from the same prop firm live account that I've been in for over 6 months now. Put up an absolute massive day yesterday. I hit a high watermark for any individual trade. Biggest prop firm trading day for one singular account. $12,000. Fat day, man. Super huge. That was last week. Little bit disappointed this week that I couldn't replicate that again. But you know what? Listen, man. We're not going to catch every move in the market. Levels are working out like magic. Everybody wants to know how I do it. All we do is mark off of basic price action market structure and volume profile, which we'll talk about today. But 3 minutes into the open, I've talked nothing about the markets, so let's talk about it. We have continued this push to the upside off of this peace tariff talks. It started down here, right? Beautiful move to the upside, consolidation, testing highs. They did not make this move easy. It was in the overnight session, right after session changeover from Tuesday into Wednesday. Cracked to the upside really aggressively. Really nothing out of that Wednesday NYSE session. This right here. A whole bunch of nothing. Choppy. Not much out of yesterday until we did take off to the upside really nicely. 11:30 a.m. It was after I hopped off the live session. I didn't do anything in here. This was straight chop. All of these looked like they took off to the upside. Yep. Yeah, into late morning. Took off to the upside, chopped into the close. Let's take a look around at these. Overnight session, pretty choppy. YM, we sold off into the close, and Q looked like we pushed up a little bit. We did get a nice wick here on CPI. Was this CPI? Yeah. We got a nice wick here on CPI. We popped to the upside, came right back down. Market doesn't care about fundamental news events anymore. Doesn't care about scheduled rates or really important data. It just cares what what Trump has to say on Truth Social, or just anything to do with the geopolitical conflicts and tariffs and things that we've been dealing with over the past, how long is that? Yeah, all of last year into the year before, so going on to 2 years. So, talking more technical about this. Pretty choppy back and forth profile here, right? Not too much. Chopping through VWAP since session changeover. We didn't really run to the upside. We didn't push to the downside. We have yet to crack prior day high, which is going to be right here, Thursday's high, as we are getting ready for the market to open up in about 60 seconds. We have a couple lines down here, which I'm going to get rid of from yesterday. I'm going to get rid of that also and draw another one. We have our pre-market low down here, which I'm going to mark off for the time being. And then we have yesterday's low all the way down here, which I'll also mark off just for fun. We'll run some black lines on the chart. Pre-market high being right here, top of that zone. Don't really need to overlay that much. Choppy overall. Man, we're going to have a short setup pretty quick here, guys. I got to fade this pop if we get it. Mean reversion trade is going to be active quick today. You know, yesterday where we don't really have a lot that's happening. I don't know what's going to happen into the open here, but this is what I will be looking at. This is what I will be looking at if we pop to the upside. I'm going to fade this sweep of prior day high if we get that. That's what I'd be looking at for the first trade setup, guys. Coming right back down into this high volume node, current volume point of control. I think we could get a beautiful run all the way back down here, although I'm not expecting that, and I wouldn't need that to happen for my trade. Mean reversion setup is valid. Very choppy, balanced overnight session. We're near prior day high. If we crack pre-market high, prior day high, I'm going to fade that somewhere up here into the 48,000, 550s, 560s, somewhere up there. If we sell off, longs are valid as well. In fact, I would love a nasty sell-off to get long. But I'm not going to take it in here, right? This would be kind of idea number one, right? Like this for a long, just to start to frame this out. This would be idea number one. I don't like this as much. I think we could dip our toes all the way down in here. We could certainly just crack pre-market low, and you know, maybe you got a little bit of a back to VWAP trade, but that's not going to give you a lot of. It's not going to give you a lot of sauce. You'd have to be pretty tight with it to make that work. So I'd be looking way down here, which I don't know that we get. And honestly, if I do wait for this, it could be lights out at that point trying to get long down here. But if we got a really aggressive sell-off, like if we got a nasty wick down here, like we started to drive, I'm going to buy into that. I'm going to buy into that probably with a wider than normal stop loss. I'd prefer to position myself long, right? You know, take a look at what we've been doing here. Take a look at what we've been doing here, right? Moderate time frame trend to the upside. I would like to get long for that drive higher into Friday. That's, if I had to say I have a bias, that's my bias. But I will gladly take the mean reversion short. Really tight overnight candle ahead of NYSE. Let's just measure this out real quick. Talking technicals. 236 points. We got plenty of room to go to the upside or downside. If we start to break without pushing lower, I'm okay fading this. I'm okay fading this, right? If we do this, I'm not. Whoa. If we do this, right? And I don't get long in here, like I talked about waiting for down here, and then we come back up, I'm not going to fade that. But, let's see. Looks like we want to go take a peek south. Yeah, this is somewhat of another level in here. I'm watching this market here, but just getting some higher time frame. Like, I've been loving the daily on these guys. I really like the higher time frame stuff. If you haven't figured that out already, yeah, like kinda, right? You can kinda see where I'm picking a level here. Like, if we start to crack this, we could really quickly blast up here and then come back in. But it doesn't look like we want to do that anyway, so I'm not going to leave that there. This one up here I will add. Clear as the sky is blue. All right. Ooh, nasty sell-off. Yeah, give me the longs, man. I'm happy to long this thing. Here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal, right? Level to level, area of interest to area of interest. I think we revert right here, right, in which I'm not going to take. You know, here's option number one, just to talk about it. Not taking this. Not taking this. It's really not a bad play. If we dip a little bit lower, I might go for it. It's not a bad play. It doesn't present a really nice risk structure with like a 200-point stop loss. But the thesis is we're either going to come down here, right? We're going to either come down here. Why? Look at all the price action, market structure, volume, points and controls, prior day, you know, consolidation, huge area of volume, right? And it's a high time frame zone. If I zoom out of daily, I think we either come down here or we come back up here, right? We say, hey, you know what? Sellers tried it. Sellers tried to get through this really aggressively, and we can't do it. We're coming right back up. Right? Level to level, area of interest to area of interest. This does give me a way to structure risk. It's really aggressive. It's really aggressive. I might take it in the middle down here, guys. I might take it down here. I don't know that we come all the way down here. And the more that I'm looking at this is quite a bit of distance here. If we go 500, 600 points down on the day, right, we really start to fill this out to the downside. You know, I don't know that we come all the way back up, and it's not really a mean reversion trade. It's a really counter trend picking the bottom trade. So somewhere in here, I might go for this, guys. Let's just take a look. Here comes the discretion, right? So I talk about this. Anybody that tries to sell you a model, a tool, tells you exactly what to do and when is a bunch of BS. Gotta have that special sauce. Let's just take a look around at these. Similar structure, similar structure. Ooh, these holding much stronger. These are holding much stronger. Yeah, I kind of like this, guys. I kind of like this. I think I'm gonna have to try this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give myself. I wanted to see if ES came through the rest of this real quick, and we popped like right down into this level a little bit lower. We traded like the 225s. I'd like that because it would put my stop way down here. I might miss this just by waiting. I don't want to be too quick. We're 6 minutes into the open here. We are starting to find some buyers. This is not great for risk structure, right? Like, you know, what am I holding for? You know, VWAP for 400 bucks. It's not that great. This is something, if I did take this, guys, that I'd have to give myself a second trade, you know, and potentially end up with, if I took a loss, if I end up with an L. Let's see. I was waiting for this to push a little bit lower, to just dip its face down really aggressively and buy right into that like last crack to the downside, potential last crack or continuation lower. So let's see if we get this. Let's see if we get this. Again, very aggressive near the open. I'd like it down here. And again, I'd probably have to take another trade today. but this is not bad. We're either going to come right through and trade, you know, 400, 300, 400 points lower, or we're going to bounce right back up to VWAP here. So let's see. Yes, finding buyers. Sweep of pre-market low. Staying patient, guys, but I'm looking for the buys here. Yeah, the only thing that's really not exciting me too much here, guys, you know, again, opportunity, like you got to work with what the market gives you, but this just isn't a lot, right? Like, what am I really targeting in here? Probably something, if we started to reject, I'd have to go, I'd have to hold on to this one. I'd have to hold on to it for a run to the upside. Sorry, guys, I locked in here because I got a trade setting up, and I'm obviously trying to pay attention as I'm trading here. I was waiting for like a little bit more of a clean out move to the downside. Just take everybody out one more time and try to get long down here, but we're obviously getting buyers down below pre-market low. Try not to let this thing fall lower. This isn't that great of a risk structure. I'd like my stop loss way, way, way at this next zone. So I'm sitting here waiting. I don't really want it from the 75s. I want it from like the 25s. So let's see. Just taking a look around at all of these. Yeah, looks like we're gonna come back up. Just not, like, I could work with it. Nah, you know, it's one of those. It's not that great, right? I love a target. I love a target back to VWAP, you know, back to the area of high volume, current volume point of control that gives me enough to get out, right? If I took something like this, right, you know, I'm eyeballing it down here. If I took something like this, like right here, you know, like that's kind of the get out spot, right? That's the mean reversion spot. You know, I'd really have to turn it into something like that, and it's not exactly the edge here. You know, this is it. And, you know, could go for something really tight, but that's just not my style. So let's see. Let's see. You know, VWAP is all the way down here. Volume point of control. Like, this isn't a lot of room to work with. But let's see. I'm still interested if we get a nasty crack down. Again, just on the thesis that we don't sell off in one direction off of the open, we pop back up. From down here would give me a little bit more room to work. You know, it wouldn't really require me holding for a huge move to the upside, which we could get today, which we absolutely could get today. Here we go, coming back down on this. Or do we come right back down here? Here comes the tough part, guys. I'm going to stay ready for it, but we're going to make a game time decision. Chat! What's up, guys? How we doing? How are we doing, guys? How the hell are you? Got one small trade today, MNQ. Awesome. Jake, very nice. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Is San the trader who got kicked out of Discord. What do you want to do, bro? You want to create a new Discord name, or do you want to did you fix your Discord because you got hacked? You want me to unban you? Chris, what's up? Yes, sir. Trades, what's up? Yeah, no, you had, I automatically ban anybody, and so will the bot. We'll kick everybody that throws that like crazy stuff. So just let me know. Did you fix it? Keep pressing the like button. Trump war market. Most database news market reactions are kind of nerfed. Yeah. Can ask some questions. Yeah. Are you asking if you can ask a question? You can ask a question. Whether or not I answer depends on how good of a question it is. I don't read everybody's questions. What's up, guys? What's up on Kick? Fritz Father, what's happening? Good morning. Short YM from 307. Nice. Nice. I'm looking along this bad boy. I'm looking along this, but I want to do it from an extreme. Glad I didn't FOMO in up here. Like I said, 200s. 200s. Dipping all the way down here will give me a stop way outside. And I'd look to hold on to that bad boy. Would love to see your trading setup, mate. Yep, I show it here every day. You're about to see it. This is it right here. This is the trading setup. Mean reversion trade on YM. Everything that I talk about off of the open. I don't have, and I don't pretend to have, a mechanical, objective, rules-based system, because nobody has that. They just like to tell themselves and tell their followers that they do. I'll show you what my general approach to the market looks like, which, in my humble opinion, is the same boring stuff that I do every day, very repeatable. But there is discretion. There is subjective interpretation, the way there is with everybody that trades manually. Almost every single profitable trader. But yeah, this is the rough trading setup right here. Mean reversion style play. We're cracking pre-market low. To the downside, our next area of interest is way down here. Like I talked about, the thesis is that we come right back up here to this area of high volume, current volume point of control, VWAP, this temporary volume point of control off of visible range volume profile, close from yesterday. Or we don't do that. We come right down here. Gives me a way to structure risk, right? Rather than getting involved in the middle of everything. I'm waiting for this to crack a little bit lower. I think we have a little bit more room to go. I also need it to go a little bit lower. Otherwise, I really don't have a great way to structure risk or a great upside opportunity. This, right? The other part of it is, can I structure risk in a favorable way? I'd be holding for something way out here, right? Rather than the actual mean reversion, which would be right in here. So I'm waiting for a little bit of a dip lower. One more clean out move, and I'm going to look to long this. What about shorting Nas? Yeah, maybe. Shouldn't the price go all the way down because it has a lot of imbalance? Maybe. Depends on how you read the market, right? And how you utilize, the idea of, what the market's going to do. Price can do whatever it wants at any time. It doesn't have to do anything, despite what we believe or draw on our charts or think from a technical perspective. When we have an imbalance here, right, which is a technical term, not to be confused with the smart money ICT boys, an imbalance referring to like footprint charts, imbalances, stacked imbalances. Oftentimes, we dip our toe back into this. We do like to fill them, going from high volume area to high volume area, right? From volume profile to volume profile. We have a untested volume point of control down here. And I think we either move through this really quickly, or we just get to the low end of this high volume node over here. We maybe tap some highs in here, and then we bounce, right? Either way. You could short this. I think this, this is a good spot to go either long or short, right? When we get to a support or resistance zone, if it's, well drawn and price actually reacts there, it's a good spot to get involved because, not because it tells you which way direction, price is going to go. Really, you might as well just be flipping a coin. But it can give you a really good way to structure risk. It can give you an idea that, likely there's going to be a fight put up between buyers and sellers around this area. We're not just going to move randomly back and forth and I have a high potential of my stop getting hit and then it moving in my direction. I'm either going to be dead right because things going to bounce here, we're going to pop back up, or it's going to break out here and continue, and that's what I'm going to trade for. I'm going to be dead wrong, right? It's going to completely rip through and I'm looking for the bounce, or it's going to, bounce and I'm looking for the continuation. That's the thesis with, zone to zone, level to level trading. Here we go, the crackdown. Now, do we just rip faces off? Lot of volume on this, guys. A lot of volume on this. I'm getting ready to long this down here, guys. Really aggressive. I'm long, guys. This is either going to be a face ripper right through to this next zone or a beautiful bounce play. Either a face ripper or a beautiful bounce play. But I'm long. Like I said, I'd give myself a follow-up trade after this one. Maybe with you guys on the live, maybe not. But this is either going to be a beautiful bounce play or an absolute face ripper. I'm going to get stopped quickly, or I think we're going to see a bounce here. And this is going to be a pretty nice bounce right back up to VWAP. I am long one from 48,191. Obviously, counter to this immediate low time frame trend. Looking for a bounce back up to VWAP, back up to this current volume point of control. Flip this bad boy long type of move. Let's just take a look at the high time frame. Yeah, man, we got plenty of room to work. And if we come through this stop, I'm completely wrong. And this is going to be a 600 point down day. But I like this thing. I like this thing long. I'd also just prefer to position myself long today. If it gave me the short, I would have taken it short. It gave me the long. Let's see what we could do. Arbitrary take profit. Not a fixed take profit level. Let's throw a take profit in an area just in case the market started to rip. Where would I actually want to get out? Yeah, that would be great. I don't run a fixed take profit, although this is technically a fixed take profit. I close out, based on price action market structure with discretion. I like to just close out manually. Obviously, a fixed stop loss level right here. About 196 points, nice and wide. Trading off the 15-minute, going for a beautiful reversion. Again, guys, I think this is, and I like to call out, what I expect out of the trade. We started to bounce there pretty nicely. I think this is going to be a nice bounce or a nasty breakdown. I'd have a little bit of room to work if we came all the way through to survive this, but not really. This is honestly one you could run pretty tight. I like to give my trades plenty of room to breathe, but I think this thing is either going to come down really quick or we're going to catch a really nice reversal right back up, crack this 15-minute bar high, back up towards VWAP, volume point of control, which is what I like, right? Which is really what I like. I'd prefer to be at a key spot, right? Where I think I'm either going to be really right or really wrong. I don't like to be right but in the wrong spot, right? I don't like to be wrong but in the wrong spot, So that's my thesis, guys. That's my trade for today. Let's see. Let's talk about my trading. I am overdue for a loss, dude. I have been exceptionally hot. And I'm not jinxing myself here talking, I'm just talking facts. I have been drastically overperforming by way of win rate and risk to reward and everything. So, I won't take wins every day, guys. If you're new here, if you've been seeing some of the stuff that I put out, I always like to keep it real with you, okay? I do not have 100% win rate, a 90% win rate, an 80% win rate. I've been holding in the 70s, which is high for me. I typically do not have that, and over a large sample size, I will not have into the 70s with a win rate. I just don't believe that to be the fact. So I'm overdue for losses, right? But even that random distribution aside, the point that I'm talking about here is pull up confident every day, put your trades on, right? Here's the mindset piece. Expect the loss. Be ready to take the stop out, right? If you're not ready to take a stop out, don't trade. If you're not ready to lose money, don't trade at all, okay? So I like to talk, keep things real with you guys. I've been on an absolute heater. Go back and watch all the live sessions. Look at what I've done on the live account. That's fine. I don't need to be that hot to make good money, right? I could take plenty more losses. So I always like to keep things real and grain of salted, right? I'm not going to pull up and say, we're going to win every day. It's crazy just because we won for a couple weeks in a row, right? You're going to watch me have losing trades, back-to-back losing days, losing weeks, and losing months. That's the reality for me in my trading. And for almost all traders. I don't know really any trader that doesn't have losing days, weeks, And most of them will have a few losing months a year, a few red months a year. But that's what we got. That's what we got today. It's a failed auction on top high volume zone. Not really. When most people refer to a failed auction, they refer to the initial balance failed auction, the 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Technically, if you're looking maybe at like, if you're looking at volume profiles or TPO charts, you could talk about, you know, different auctions and that type of a deal. Let me fix what just fell in my room. Yeah, but if it helps you to talk about things in terms of auction market theory, then go for it. It doesn't help me that much. That really just doesn't help me that much to try to conceptualize that. You don't reply on X, Zach. Usually I do. But as you could tell, I'm hella active with quite a few growing followers across all socials. So sometimes I'll respond to stuff, sometimes I won't. There is a divergence with YM. Yeah. Yep. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh my gosh, that's not what I wanted to do either. Yeah, let's see. Let's see who's leading who, right? So, again, I'm not the, what do I have, like wind in here? Man, annoying. I'm not the divergence / correlation trader. I do like to have an idea of what everybody else is doing as far as the US indice goes, because I don't think that, you know, they move in divergence in their own for forever. But YM likes to live in its own world. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to fix this one more time. All right. Maybe we fixed it. So let's see. Let's see. Cannot verify the email. It's a pain in the ass. Tried a few times, got the code, entered it, and nothing. Sorry to hear that, JNRV, and you're the first person that gave me negative feedback on the email system. I will make sure that you're set. I know who you are in Discord, and I'll make sure you're good to go. But interesting to hear. You're the first person out of a couple hundred that I've had a negative response from. So far, anybody that missed it or messed something up, it's been on them. But I appreciate the feedback, as always, before I start locking everything up. Had 5 consecutive losing day this week. That's tough. It's tough. Fixed my password. Hey, Zach, on the verify system, I didn't get a second email. Yeah, there's a manual piece to that, guys, in Discord, just so you guys know. If you're missing the trade right here, I'm sitting long. We're going to see if we're just going to rip my face off or we're going to catch a beautiful bounce here. Really haven't done too much yet, so it's just stay patient and wait for the thing to play out. But if you're not in the free Discord, which is what people are talking about right here, hop in the 100% free trading Discord. Link is going in the chat right now. Not only do we have a whole bunch of sauce and fun stuff, I got a new email verification system to stop the scammers and spammers, and a new email list going out where I'm going to give you guys my magic levels. I'm going to give you guys the charts and zones ahead of time, which I do on the live streams, but maybe you don't hop on the live streams. Maybe you just want it right to your email to check it out on Sunday afternoon as you're getting ready for the market to open up. Talk a little bit about technicals, macro throughout the week. Probably the live trading schedule, anything else I got fun stuff going on, and then partner deals, giveaways, keep you guys updated. So hop in the Discord if not. If you did not get the second email, I will double check. I have that manual right now where I'm rolling everybody, and I'm starting to automate more, but I want to make sure that everything works first, Purple Ninja. So I will make sure that you get the second email after the live session. I'll be going back through to check everything out. And then today, I'm going to lock everything up. So if you're in Discord, all 100 and something people across all of the streaming platforms, if you're in the Discord and you're not verified, you don't have the verified role, you didn't verify your email in the new Get Verified channel, do that. Because at the end of the day today, I'm going to lock all of the channels, or maybe middle of the day, so I can make sure it's working. I'm going to lock all the channels, and you won't get kicked or banned, but you're going to have to verify with email. So that's the play, guys. That's the play. We got giveaways rolling in Discord. We got a whole bunch of fun stuff rolling in Discord. New leveling system. But yeah, man. Appreciate everybody in there. Almost 3,000 members. Absolutely insane. So it's been time for some upgrades. Taking notes here today. Valuable lesson yesterday and today so far has been great. Awesome. Awesome. Beautiful morning to you all. Blue Water Cruiser, what's up? What's up, guys? I've replied to the email. Awesome, Jake. Yeah. I got through the first mail and got verified, but haven't got the second email. Yeah. So first and foremost, not to make this about the email verification, but just to answer everybody in here, it's a simple automated get verified, right? That gives you the verified role. And then I offered up something, which was everybody gets added to the email list. That second email is not part of the email verification system. So it's going to be a lag. It's going to be 12, 24, 48 hours before you get that. I've been manually doing it really quickly just to, keep everybody rolling. But I added something, which is if you help me by replying back to the email so I know you're a real person and I can make sure I'm sending emails out to real people. What do we have at 10 a.m.? Prelim consumer sentiment. I'm watching Bookmap get dark over here, guys. We popped really nicely. I'm holding this. 30 seconds to orange folder. What do we have here? Financial Juice has this marked as red. All right, well, here's the difference between Forex Factory and Financial Juice. A couple different news sites. Some of these have this marked as medium impact. Some of them have this marked as high impact. But there is, what I would call moderate impact news. It's not CPI. It's not unemployment. It's not NFP. It's not FOMC. It's not Trump saying something. But this could get volatile here, guys. Here we go. 10 a.m. I'm not stopped to break even. I'm not touching this trade just yet. But we could come right through these lows if the market doesn't like this. And an indication that this was going to be more volatile, and the reason I said, what do we have right now, 60 seconds ago, is how dark we got here on Bookmap. Usually that's a telltale sign that the market knows something. The big players know something that we don't know, and they don't want orders on the book, so they pull them. It's common ahead of all, news events, big news events, but it's really a telltale sign on something like ES when the book goes completely dark, that we're about to get some movement, and the algos don't want any part of it. Big market participants don't want any part of it. Yeah, reacting negatively to that so far. That's a minute in. Yeah, we're gonna let this one run. I'm not doing anything too crazy here. NQ back down to VWAP. Let's see. Maybe YM was leading the pack here, and these guys are gonna follow suit and rip faces to the downside. YM's gonna be all the way down here by the time these are just tested pre-market lows. Kind of looks like the way that we want to go. No beautiful bounce here, guys. At least not yet. No beautiful bounce just yet. We got a gap on this 15-minute candle on that news. We're either going to come right back up and fill that, or we're just going to completely leave it and rip a face to the downside. Not a terrible try of buyers back up here. We traded 104 points off the low. Definitely trying down here. I like my entry. In the market's hands now, right? Are we going to trade back up towards VWAP and through, potentially making the case for a bullish day? Or are we going to break this really aggressively and run lower? Right, just looking at higher time frame. Price action. Oh, no, we don't have a gap. Oh, yeah, we did have a gap, but we did go fill it. Nice. So, let's see. Anyway, that's what we were talking about. Hop in Discord, guys. I won't bore you. Hop in Discord. Free Discord. I got so much fun stuff going. I'm building out more and more. My goal as I grow and get better as a trader, get better as a content creator, get better as a community facilitator, is just to make everything better. So I'm going to keep doing that. You're going to see small changes through me, for me, probably for forever, because I'm going to keep improving. You know, better content, better tutorials, better live trading, better giveaways, better community, email list, right? You know, I'm going to keep doing more and more fun stuff, so long as I have the bandwidth to do it. And it's going to be me. I'm going to get some help from AI, but it's not going to be Claudebot, you know, sending you emails that I don't even look at. It's Friday. I'll believe they'll push more to the upside. If I didn't use your code, I can't enter the giveaway. What happened to you trading YM? This is me trading YM. Bebe Rich. Are you asking what happened to me trading YM? Because I'm still here trading YM. Or if you're asking like why I'm trading YM. Thank you. I replied to the email. Yeah, cool. So we got a couple giveaways rolling here, guys. A couple different giveaways rolling. First and foremost, I do giveaways across platforms, right? So there's giveaways individual to IG. There's giveaways individual to X. There's giveaways individual inside of Discord, where as you level up, because now I even have the automated leveling system, I'm going to be ranking people up automatically, which is going to be really cool. Do more giveaways, give back to everybody in there. Beautiful, beautiful. Almost 500 bucks on the table here. This one right here is anybody that uses code RDF, which again is additional type of giveaway. Anybody that uses code RDF at any of the firms that I am partnered and affiliated with also gets the best deal and an entry to win one of 5 50K challenge accounts for next week. Again, always all info in Discord. All info in Discord. So if you have questions, if you have, you know, something that you want to know about me and my stuff, hop in Discord, head to my site, right? Check out all the videos I have on YouTube. I have so much info. I'm trying to get better at delegating people to do that rather than just repeating myself over and over and over again. But if you have any other questions, you know, you guys could always ask, stuff like that. I recognize we have new people on here all the time. We got people that have been here for months, so everybody's at a different spot as far as understanding what the hell I'm talking about. Not a bad bounce. Not a bad bounce. We ain't there yet. We ain't there yet, but not a bad bounce. Right back to pre-market lows. Now, Chad. Now comes stage 2, and then stage 3 of the trade, okay? Do we get above? Like I said, I think we catch a really nice bounce right back above this 15-minute bar high. Now, decision-making point number 2. Is this going to be the reversal? Or is this going to be the breakdown, beautiful pullback, everybody gets short, and then rip Zach's face off to the downside? Take your pick. Take your pick. Stage number 2, goal number 2 is this VWAP. This VWAP's getting drugged down to no man's land here, so I still think it is a danger zone. This would be, you know, this would be area number 2, right? And then, you know, trade thesis number 3 is that we just drift higher for the day. Watching this down here, guys, and talking about what I did this week and last week and the week before, getting more aggressive, holding my trades longer, I'm probably going to want to hold this bad boy. Probably going to want to hold this bad boy. I don't know that we continue any further than right now, or if we just come lower. VWAP, it really ain't enough for me. 150. This is 100 points. Very nice. Showed me 100 points with 30 points of heat. Beautiful. Someone sent me a DM that said you should trade with a 50-point stop loss and a 100-point take profit, and triple the size. And I might do that if first off if I was able to. I'm not able to in this account. But yeah, I'll probably, if we continue, target's probably going to be up here, guys. If not to the moon. Somewhere in here. But this is problem number 1. This is problem area number 1. Could easily come right back down through the lows on this. We could just dip our toe back up here and then come right back down, and then figure out if we want to drift lower, if we want to come back up. Yeah, but I'm gonna need at least another, yeah, 50, 60, 70 points out of this bad boy before we call it a dubski. Let's see. Regardless of how it plays out, very happy with my execution. Very happy up to this point. Very happy with my entry. For me, really, really, really good read down here. This has been, this has been working out very, very nicely. Let's see. Let's see if we want to continue or if we just want to get a quick pop before a sell-off, right? We're not done yet. But so far, more green than red so far. We'll see. Trade for learning. It's a good question. Hop in the Discord and go to all of the partner information. There's a bunch of channels, and you can see everybody that I'm partnered and affiliated with. Hop in the Discord, and all of the answers are there. I fortified my account now with AFA and fingerprint. Nice. I'm still blocked when I click the Discord link. I will unblock you, but I'm not going to do it right now, Sam. Shoot me a DM or something. Zach, why did you long from there? There are no levels on your chart. Go back and watch Hansel. You could rewind the live. Go back and watch the beginning when I talked about potentially waiting for a sweep of this area here or coming all the way down here, where I talked about pre-market low, and then as I talked about this for 5 or 10 minutes before I hit the buy button, rather than me just repeating the entire thing. Just rewind the live and you can go back and watch. You can click through until there's no position on my chart. You can watch the 5 minutes before that, and you'll understand me doing it in real time, rather than me talking about what I just did. I think that's probably more helpful. Again, like I talked about, there is no 100% objective entry, right? In my humble biased opinion. Here's the truth, guys, that nobody really wants to talk about either. Here's my hot take. 100% objective, rules-based systems, strategies that can be coded into a bot or an EA, do not work. I've never seen them work consistently over a long period of time, especially not what's available to us at the retail level. Of course, there's algorithms, there's bots, there's machine learning, there's AI, there's all that stuff at hedge funds and, high level, right? What's available to us and what we could code ourselves or use AI to code, it doesn't work, right? It should be obvious, and it wasn't to me for a long time. But if it was that simple, I wouldn't be here. Why would I waste my valuable hard-earned time where I try to make money all over the place with my time? Why would I waste my money sitting here clicking the button, right? I don't believe it can be coded. The market is extremely dynamic, and it takes an insane amount of discretion and subjective interpretation of so many different tools that can't possibly be coded into a bot or an EA. I think AI will get really good and bots and algos will be really good, but at our level, it can't be, right? So if you accept that as your truth, maybe you disagree with me. It's my subjective biased opinion. You could say, I think you're wrong. I'll tell you why I think I'm right. If you accept that, you understand that you're going to apply your discretion. You're not going to do the exact same thing like a machine every single day. Otherwise, you would have a machine do it, right? So where are you going to allow for that discretion? Where are you going to allow for that intuition? Where are you not? Like, how are you going to structure your trading so it is very consistent day over day? You're not just randomly doing completely different random things, but you're going to allow for some discretion to say, I've been staring at charts for years. I know these tools. I got a feel for them because I watched them for hours and hours and hours, tens of thousands of hours on this. I got a feel for one thing happening over another. I'm not going to be right every day, but I'll be right enough times to be dangerous, right? So for me, talk about this. For me, a lot of that discretion comes in my entries. A lot of that discretion comes exactly where I'm going to hit the buy or sell button, right? I'm not waiting for a candlestick chart pattern. I'm not waiting for confirmation, right? It's just not that simple. It isn't that simple. I'm waiting for a number of things to happen, right? I describe what I'm looking for. In general, the setup is extremely similar day in and day out. It's how I'm able to repeat it day in and day out, the way that you're watching right now. I've described it so much on my live sessions that a lot of people that watch me take very, mark off similar setups. Not that you're supposed to be copying or trading the same way that I'm trading, but they can identify what I'm probably looking at, right? But again, there's a piece of subjective discretion in there, which you will never have unless you develop it yourself. And it will never be exact between trader and trader. So, that's my opinion. And it's why I don't think talking at length about models or entry models or even technicals to a degree, some special indicator, is extremely helpful. You're going to have to learn this stuff for yourself by doing it yourself, decide what you like, what you don't like, and then where you're going to apply your hard-earned discretion, your experience, which you should apply, in my humble, biased opinion. Right? That's the thoughts. So for me, right? For me, this entry, go back and watch what I'm talking about and looking on the chart, Leaning towards reversal. Awesome. Good morning, Vertigo. What's up? Dubsky doing well. What's up? We'll see. We're not there yet, right? Trump could say, the ceasefire's violated, and this market could completely rip my face off. You should expect that, expect that if you have a stop loss that's not at break even or you're not closing your trade out. You have to continually tell yourself that in the trade. We'll do so. Claude is different, man. Its ability to code for retail is a game changer. Twitch, what's up, man? Killer entry, Zach. Hopefully ES can pull YM higher for those data highs. Yeah, we'll see. We will see. So, yeah, I think AI is incredibly powerful, right? Incredibly powerful. The way that I view this, Twitch and everybody else, is really two things. Just based on observation. There's this never-ending cat and mouse game being played in the markets between all the market participants, but definitely between, the big players and everybody else. And as, technology advances the same way that it has in the past, there's going to be fear of the market going away, of everybody's edges going away. There being, no edge, right? My thesis is, so long as, here's my real thesis. So long as humans, me and you, and all of the discretionary traders and all of the funds and firms that are primarily discretionary trading firms, as long as we're allowed to interact with the market, there will always be room for money to be made with manual trading, right? I think if there's a day and age where we're not allowed to, to trade and it's just machines, then the market would go away, right? But I don't think that would ever be the case. But so long as humans who are illogical, irrational, out of their mind are allowed to trade, we're going to be allowed to try to leverage that. So I don't think that coding with AI at the retail level will provide any, expected value over a long period of time. I just don't. Haven't seen that yet. Maybe soon. We'll see. But that's a hot button topic, and it's hard to wrap your head around, right? You're told you have to have a rules-based strategy. You have to enter like a machine, think like a machine, wait for your setup. All of this is true, but what about the discretion, right? Where is your experience? Where are you needed, right? And it's a hard thing to wrap your mind around, but I think it's really important to reflect on. I was stuck for a long time in trying to do that. And I tell this story a little bit. I completely agree. If we aren't allowed to trade, I'm going to go farming and get some horses. Yeah. I think we'll always be trading, right? I don't think it will be the same. Let's talk about this real quick. This is a good conversation. Watch this trade run, guys. I'm not closing out. We got two 15-minute bars breaking prior bar high. We bounced 125 points in the direction of my trade. I'd love to see this continue. We could certainly come lower and fill out the day lower. We're making the case here. I like my entry. I'm not stop loss to break even yet. You'll obviously see when I do that. I'll talk about when and why I do that. Again, I got a lot of risk on here because I'm holding a 15-minute chart trade for a long period of time. At any point, Trump could say something and the market could do that in a blink of an eye and I could be slipped, right? I'm going to, allow for that room down here in favor of the move to the upside. So let's see. But let's talk about this, guys. Uh, Again, and I know like a lot of people tune out when I start talking about this. They don't want to hear it. They just want to hear. Tell me how to do it. Tell me how to trade. How did you make $600 today? You made money yesterday. Just show. How are you doing it, bro? It's not that simple. It's not that simple, right? I wish it was. It's not something you're going to learn in 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, right? So if that's what you're here for, go to another stream and spend, waste money until you lose enough and you decide that it's not for you, right? Or you come back after you realize, that that's not the way. Here's the conversation that we were on, right? Coding and why did I enter a specific spot, discretion, AI. First and foremost, the market's going to continue to change. There's a saying out of one of my favorite books. I was talking about it yesterday. The market is the same as it always was because it was changing back then and it's changing now. Different things are being introduced into the market every day. AI, machine learning, that, available at the retail level, coding, all of this integration, it's all new, right? Back in the pits, right, with papers where they were writing out orders and running it back and forth, before they, were there, algos got introduced afterwards, right? Everybody thought, and it was a big conversation, that would ruin the market. There would be no edge to be had. Manual traders would be obsolete. How could you possibly be as fast or as good as, electronic trading and, algorithms and machines, right? Computers. Here we are, right? Here we are. It changed the market drastically, and it continues to change the market, but we're still here, right? We're still here. And I think we will still be here. I think it will be different. I think as everything changes, rules, regulations from exchanges, trading hours, different instruments, volume shifting from different tools, so many things continue to change. We will have to adapt. We'll have to be dynamic. What's working exactly today will not work in the future. So in that regard, yes, I think everybody's edge will change over time, or whatever they're trying to exploit. Hopefully they're exploiting an edge. So that's number one. But as far as rules-based strategies, there's a difference between being consistent, being systematic, right? Having a really clear trade setup with qualifications and rules and confirmation. There's a difference between that and saying, this is 100% objective. There is no opinion. There's no human need at all. It's based on market-generated information only, and it can be coded to be executed consistently over time, right? The latter, at our level, I've never seen work, ever, consistently over time. It's a trap, right? In my humble opinion. This came to a head. I'll give you a little bit of context. Not only have I never seen it work, not only did I suffer miserably for a while trying to make that stuff work, I was super frustrated, and I had finally started to make some consistent gains, and I was going to a Forex.com in-person conference. And I happened, by chance, it sounds like a random story, but it's the truth. I could pull out, lanyards from it. I could provide the guy's info. I could show you the video and the emails, all that fun stuff. But I ended up sitting with PhD software engineers and traders, guys that were decades in, two brothers, decades in, and their primary job, that what they did, their business, was the testing and coding of traders' strategies, right? And the first thing I asked him was, guys, I've been working on this for forever. Come on, man. Does any of it work? Is any of it legit? And they were high level, very high level. This was not something that they were going to sell you for $500. You would go to them and spend 5 figures at a bare minimum to find out if you had something that could be coded into a bot or an EA, right? And here's what they found. And of course, they ran their own stuff. They licensed other people's stuff. 90+% just do not work. 90 plus of what everybody thinks is that just do not work at all. Of the, 8 out of 100 that actually work, they need constant monitoring and human review, adjustments for so many different things. They are really not automated in the sense of being automated. They take a full-time person watching it and adjusting it, right? According to a whole bunch of different metrics. But the more important part, 9 out of 10 guys that would come to them that were consistently profitable, right? You wouldn't talk to these guys if you weren't going to spend, over $10,000 just to start to have something coded and then tested and then optimized and then, all of this, back end stuff done, right? 9 out of 10 of those guys, when they ran their initial, conversations and tests and looked at what they were doing, although they believed they were objective, they believed they had something that could be coded into a bot or an EA, they were applying their discretion. even at the high level, they don't realize they're applying the discretion. They're filtering. They would ask them to record themselves trading for a long period of time. If there's even one day where you filter for something that you didn't have already preset within your rules, it's discretionary. If there's one trade that you do something different on, it's discretionary, right? So all of that, has led me to the, the truths that I hold around trading. Again, you're free to have your own opinion. You're free to have your own thoughts on things. I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong. I can only talk from experience and, my opinion. So that's my thoughts. I think you need to be consistent. I think you need to do something very similar day in and day out. You need to know exactly what you're looking for and have a repeatable system, because there's a nasty random distribution of wins and losses. A flipping a coin, for example, where you're going to be all over the place day to day. And if you're not consistent, overall, there's no chance at profitability. But that said, discretion, experience, subjective interpretation of everything that you use is the key, right? Is the key. That's, or one of the keys. So feel free to let me know what you think about that in the chat. I'm happy to talk more about it. I'm happy to go on to a different, happy to get onto a different topic. Claude didn't exist when they did that seminar, by the way. Yeah, I'm aware. So talk to me about AI, right? Talk to me about Claude, right? Claude and AI and machine learning, right? Obviously has been around and available at a higher level than we have it for a long period of time, right? What is Claude going to do for you? I'm happy to like discuss it further, right? Like, what is AI going to do for you? Is it going to discover something that you didn't discover for yourself? Is it going to just make adjustments to an automated strategy? It can act as a human trader, applying, a lot of different input from different information. But, are those, is the case to be made that will just beat human traders every day? I think it's going to be immensely helpful in disseminating information to retail human traders. I think it's going to be incredibly helpful for workflow and, leveraging within your trading. Is there going to be something that is mass available using AI that is essentially just a bot or an EA? I don't think so. I don't see that happening yet. And I don't understand, based on, my understanding of market generated information, even fundamentals and order flow, I haven't seen that stuff done yet. So, we'll see. And then as that starts to happen, right? Maybe that is a true statement. Maybe that starts to happen. How does that change what we do as retail traders, right? How does that change, how we function? So people are doing it. They've been doing it for a long period of time. Again, I still haven't seen any of it. So, I fully understand what you're saying, but again, there is machine learning, and I guess like there's a machine type of discretion and subjective interpretation, right? But I don't know. I guess the answer is we'll have to see as that starts to develop. But I think every 5 years, every 10 years, there's the same conversation. Every 5 to 10 years, there's the same conversation over and over and over again since the 1920s. Will human traders be obsolete because of this new technology, right? How can they not be? And then here we are in, 2026, and I'm clicking the buttons, right, and making money. So, that's kind of the thought. Greatest story I ever heard. I don't know about that, but it's a story. It's a true story. I think the next edge will be tools that make discretionary decisions easier to make. Maybe. If a simple code can do it, market will not exist. Yeah. Key levels can be discretionary. Claude can code an indicator to help you find high and low volume levels that may be more accurate than what we think, just in my opinion. Maybe. I think again, I think you can use Claude. Like I said, I think you can use codes for sure. Let me read further. We are still in the pioneering age of AI. Not perfect now. A lot of mistakes and errors. Yeah, sure. Soon we'll get to AI, more complex devices. Sure. Not talking about coding a bot that trades for you, just helping you map out key levels. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. That stuff is all available, right? That's, yeah, so just so we're on the same page. 100%, right? I think using, AI for pre-market reviews, for understanding fundamentals, for, just simple coding of like, little indicators on your tools, all of that stuff, super helpful. And it's just going to make the workflow even easier, right? I 100% agree with that. I'm talking about trading, right? I'm talking about physically trading. We're talking about applying discretion, right, to our trading. And our subjective interpretation and the need to manually trade, right? So I don't think the conversation that I had a couple years back and my theory and my what we're talking about here is any different. But I certainly think that more tools like that will continue to exist and maybe be able to help traders. Claude would have access to Algo's institutions use, which are all likely under NDA. That's an interesting case to be made. But yeah, guys, listen, again, I'm for AI, right? I'm for technology advancing. And again, I think, if you go back through and you read the books, right, and you just look at history of the markets, which I find interesting, the conversation is always on the forefront, right? Like there's a nervousness, there's a fear. Here we are right back to VWAP, guys. I'm just watching this trade. Will human traders be necessary? How can we possibly compete? Why would you allow, anybody to touch anything if we have machines, right? If we have AI, if we have all this advanced stuff. And it's going to continue to be a conversation, right? It's going to continue to be a conversation. But we're still here. We are still here. Yeah, and I'm still holding on to this trade, guys. $700 on the line here. Tough one to hold through VWAP, but I'm going for this next high volume node. We could just be dipping our toes right outside of this, right back to VWAP, right outside of this right here, right outside of pre-market lows. This isn't quite enough for me to take it off. I'm waiting for a move back up towards current volume point of control, temporary volume point of control, a little bit higher into this area before I take it off. But yeah, the point of the conversation is there's a trap that a lot of traders fall into. I need to be a machine. I need to be 100% objective. I need clear rules, and I just need to wait for that exact thing to happen, and I don't need to think at all, right? And then also, I could just pay somebody. I could pay someone $100 or $500, so they have a bot. They have an EA, right? I could just use that. Look at the bots and EAs, right? Everybody's selling them online and on X and on IG. Not that easy, guys. not that easy, right? I wish it was not that easy. So if it's not that easy, what do we use? Discretion, intuition, within reason, right? Not just a free-for-all. I pull up to the market and say, long here with 5 minis. And then the next day I'm trading a different market doing something completely different, right? You need consistency. But there's that piece of discretion that comes in that is present with every single manual trader that you watch and all of the big money-backed discretionary trading funds, right? The stuff that, the hedge funds have, the algos, the algorithms that run, is completely another world, just a complete another world, right? So I'm not really talking about that. I think those will continue to improve the way they've continued to improve, and they'll be able to extract money from everybody in the market, as they do. But again, so long as the general thesis is, so long as humans are involved, it's going to be an unpredictable, illogical, irrational beast because humans are unpredictable, illogical, not don't make sense with many of the things that they do, and so long as we're involved to enough degree to influence market movements back and forth, you know, and I think we will be. I think there's going to be room for human traders to try to capitalize on that, and I think that bots at EAs will get really good at trying to predict the unpredictable, but we'll still be here. But we'll see. So guys, I'm hanging on to this. I am hanging on to this, and this is a dicey hold. This is a dicey hold. Same thing that I've talked about. I had to take a stop at break even earlier this week doing this. You know, they showed me 725 bucks worth of profit, 750 bucks worth of profit, 150 points in profit. Beautiful entry, beautiful bounce. I'm happy with all that. I talked about the risk structure on this one. I talked about the risk structure on this one and why I didn't like it that much, because this is a nice move, right? This is a nice move. And now I'm stuck with the choice of, you know, take a small win here, take a $600, $700, 100 point, you know, 150 point win at VWAP, which is a really key dynamic level on the chart. There's a reason it's on my chart. I do utilize it in my trading, right? Especially being cautious holding through it like I am right now, or to try to hold through that, you know, for that next area of interest to the upside. And I think what I'm going to go for here, guys, is a hold. I think what I'm going to go for is a hold. And I think this is going to be a longer hold. If I just want it here, just 500 bucks, right? We could take it now and call it a W, right? You know, and maybe, you know, you're looking at leveraging this and you go, Zach, you know, beautiful, right? Very, very nice. I don't know that I'll have another opportunity after this price action and market structure. I won't have an opportunity if we come lower. That would just be a beautiful short right here for a sell-off completely down, right? We come all the way back down to the lows. It's going to be a tough hold, honestly. It's going to be a really tough hold. But I'm going to look for a move higher out of this market. We're making the case where we want to do it. We're making the case for that Friday drift, man. We're past most of the news, right? It's Friday. We're past most of the news for this week. The market loved what we had to do over the last couple days. We've continued to push higher. I think the big risk of holding something like this all damn day, and the only thing in the back of my mind is that, you know, at any point somebody could say something, the market just rips in one direction, and, you know, you're not gonna be on the not gonna be happy if you're on the wrong side of that. But as far as the trade thesis, man, I really like this, at very least for the mean reversion to be back up here. You know, it wasn't much more out of this, but somewhere back up here. But I do like this if we continue higher for just a complete reversal and a nice bullish day. And I also, again, I don't think that I'm gonna have another trade setup, right? If I take a stop, if I close out here, I won't have another one. If I take a stop out, I won't have another one. If it runs in my direction, I won't have another one, right? So, you know, the if then is also a little bit higher level in the back of my mind. You know, what am I looking to do here, right? What is the market making available for me? What's my risk structure? You know, what do I think reasonably can happen? Sure, I think a move up towards these highs can be reasonable. I think a move right into this area could be reasonable, right? So I'm going to hold on to this one. And I'm not stopped to break even right now, which means I'm accepting a $1,000 loss. I'm accepting $600 to turn into negative 1,000. And I'm okay with that. Okay with that. In pursuit of this larger winner. Right. So that's just talking about the trade. But we'll let this one run. We're having a good conversation. Let's see. Agreed. Even 3 years ago, I found a guy selling indicators. Now people don't have to pay for those. Yep. Makes sense. Yep. Recovering from a war market. Yep. Stop using card. He is not cute. Institutions will always let us trade. Well, yeah. We're the liquidity, right? They kind of need us doing dumb stuff and, you know, and feeding the machine, right? Great trade yet again, Zach. Yeah, you know, we're not done yet, right? We're not done yet. I don't know if you guys will say it's a great trade if it, you know, if they say, you know, ceasefire has been violated or something. I said that earlier, but like I think that would move the market lower maybe, you know, and then it rips my face off to the downside. But we can only do what our data tells us we need to do. And for me, it's hold my trades longer, you know, trying to do that. There will always be new traders coming into the market. New theories being made on evolving markets. So AI will also be facing newer variables. Yeah. Again, there's always going to be something new, guys. And I think that's a hard thing to wrap your head around. You know, market's always going to be changing. Whether we want it to or not, it's always going to be changing. It's very dynamic. Technology changes, politics change, rules and regulations, what we can and can't do, underlying assets, leverage, you know, massive changes to the options market, right? Introduction of, you know, different time frames of options, which has driven huge changes, you know, in the futures market, in the stock market, you know, everything, right? You know, how are you going to try to maintain some consistency once you grab onto it while continuing to adapt to an ever-changing market, right? That's kind of the balance that we have to try to toe as traders. Are you trading an eval or instant? Neither. I am trading a live account. This is a Top 1 Futures live account, guys. This is the account that I got moved into October of last year. It was a 15K live account. It was on Project X back then. Now it's on Tradeovate. I'm logged into TradingView. This is the same one that I've been trading with you guys for 6 months. Live almost every day. Certainly not every trade taken live. I've taken 25 or 26 or 27. I have to go back and actually look. Payouts from this same account. Most of them very modest. Most of them very reasonable, small, few $100. Not all of them. Some of them have been pretty large. I put up a $12,000 day on the account last week. So, you know, that's kind of what I'm trading here. If I was going to trade an account from Top 1, just to talk a little bit about what they got rolling here, guys. They got some new stuff coming out too. I don't really want to take my eyes off of this just yet because I think we could pop here. So I want to bring up Top 1's site, but I'm going to watch this because if we start to pop really aggressively here, I want to be able to close out without sleeping on it. Instant funded versus eval. You know, all of them are good. Both of them are good. Just depends on what you want. Top 1 is launching something different. Top 1 has had the Elite Daily account, which is a 3-day to pass, end of day trailing drawdown in both the eval and the funded account, but no consistency rule in funded, no minimum trading days to pay out, right? Activation fee included in the eval. Really, really sweet account. Daily payouts. Pretty wild. They're taking that off and they're introducing something new. You're going to see it over the weekend. I don't want to relay too much information. It's similar to the eval account. It's another eval account, and it's something that Clay talked about. We had a lot of votes on, would you prefer a more expensive eval, like the Elite Daily, with no activation fee, or would you prefer something that was really cheap for an eval, with like really easy to pass, maybe like a 1-day to pass, really cheap eval, with an activation fee? And it kind of split. So I think they're going to be rolling something else out. Outside of Top 1, for me personally, given the choice, I prefer an eval, more expensive, whatever gets me the best rules in funded. That's what I look for when I trade prop accounts. What is the best rules in funded? I'm confident as a trader. I'm happy to spend a little bit more, right? Even if I lose accounts. But what gets me the widest rule set in a funded account, right? The least amount of consistency, you know, maybe end of day trailing drawdown, you know, I'll take 5 minimum trading days over the 40% consistency if I can. So I would prefer the eval over the instant funded. I do like the instant funded because I don't like taking evals. It's just annoying to waste time and money and energy doing that. But you deal with a tighter consistency rule, you know, and I do like to be able to swing hard in the sim accounts that I trade. And I've got something that works, you know, pretty well to get that done. Yeah, scalp really aggressively on NQ. And then the larger days that I put up are, you know, me waiting for these higher time frame trade setups and then I hammer it in a sim account, right? Maybe along with my live account or whatever I'm doing. So I think that's kind of the answer to that question. After going through various concepts and strategies for years, I guess chart time is the best way of learning the market behavior. Yeah. Volatility coming in here, guys. What was that, chat? Nasty wick lower. Let's see if it comes right back through the high. Like I said, guys, and I mentioned this a couple times, so I think it's important, right? I don't want this to happen. I'd prefer to be on the right side if it does happen. But we are trading headline markets here. And there's a risk of holding trades for a long period of time. You're usually going to find traders go to one of two extremes. I talked about this yesterday, and I'll tell you which extreme you find me on. They say, Trump's moving the market all over the place. I don't want to be in at any amount of time. I want to be flat all day. I want to be in and out. Big position size, short time frame trading. And it's going to minimize me being on the wrong side of those moves. Or, yes, it's a headline-driven market. I'm going to put my long trades on the way that I do, and I'm going to hold on to those bad boys. I'm going to run a fixed take profit, and I'm going to run a fixed stop loss and a super wide take profit. And if I'm on the wrong side of it, I accept it. Maybe this just rips lower. I don't know what that was. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's something, right? We could rip lower at any point. We could also rip higher at any point, right? And my trade could just play out normally in between all of that. I prefer to try to leverage it and just not completely change what I'm doing, outside of certain specific instances. But important to note that, right? We could see volatility at any point today. I think it'd be, we should expect to see stuff like this. And I will have Squawk set up next week. Real-time news, or as close to real-time news as you can get. We were moving so nice, too. We were moving so nicely. So nicely. Don't know if that is a comment out of the U.S. administration. That felt like something other than just normal liquidity across all of these. Nasty crack lower. We bounced right back up to where we were. Now we're starting to drift lower. Ahead of that, we're getting kind of choppy up here at ES. We were looking pretty good at YM. We were making the case to break through VWAP. But here we go, moving back down. Yep, there it is. Iran's parliament speaker. 2 of the steps mutually agreed upon between the groups have yet to be implemented. Okay, so something negative, in regards to like things not being implemented. I'd be cautious, guys. Once we start to get comments like that, here we go. We're starting to get some movement. Once we start to get comments like that, like we get a comment like that, obviously a lot of things can kick into gear. We can get more comments. We can get reactions from the other sides, which can drive the market all over the place. We can get more people positioning themselves. We're coming into 11 a.m. here. I would be cautious. There's nothing wrong with saying I'm going to be part of that first group that just wants to be flat as much as they can. If you're going to run a trade, right, what I do, I can only talk for myself, accept this stop loss plus some slippage. I fully accept that I have $1,000 worth of risk on the line, right? And I have, $440 now of unrealized profit. I had $700. I am happy to not realize that, to leave risk on the line in pursuit of larger profit. If I'm not happy to do that, close it out. Do something differently. So. No way, 6 months. Congratulations. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Elite Daily is my choice. Awesome. Don't know if you said this before, but why do you look at CVD on ES whilst trading YM? Yeah, so I talked about Bookmap over here, guys. This is an order flow tool for those of you who don't know what we're looking at. This is Bookmap. I am partnered and affiliated with Bookmap. You can get the best deal in the Discord or the link in chat, which I'll throw in a little bit. I do watch like the others a bit. But I just don't get as good of a read out of YM and NQ And I don't think it's because there's anything wrong with their bookmap charts. In fact, there's not. They just have their own unique, depth of market role in here. I just watched ES first for a really long period of time. I know what it looks like. I know what CVD looks like. And as price is moving in general, I have an idea around what I would like to see or not like to see. ES typically has the thickest book out of these, meaning the most amount of resting orders, buy side and sell side. You could just see that objectively looking at it, right? You can see how thin, which is a slang term, but you can see how thin YM and NQ are. The levels seem to stand out like sore thumbs on ES, makes it a little bit easier to read. So for all of those reasons, it also just gives me the other, the other market on the left-hand side of my screen. For all of those reasons, I don't mind looking at ES. I don't trade, as you guys know, I don't trade divergences and correlations. I don't trade them all in a specific way. I've traded with guys that do that very successfully. If ES and NQ are doing this and YM's doing something differently, I do something here. That's their edge, right? Nothing wrong with that. I've tried to leverage a lot of different things like that in the past. I just find I end up trading the wrong instrument. I end up trading ES on NQ or NQ on YM, right? NQ's going up, YM's going down, so I'm going to sell NQ or I'm going to buy YM, right? Or, whatever it is, expecting them to be correlated. There's nothing wrong with, using those things, I think, within reason, but it's not exactly what I do. I like to take a look, mostly because YM lives in its own world, number one. But I like to take a look at what the others are doing. I trade NQ as well. I've been trading a lot more recently. They don't tend to move completely different directions for a long period of time, although they can make the case to do it. But yeah, that's the reasons for watching ES Bookmap. Nasty rejection off of VWAP. Yeah, taking a look at these. Looks like ES wants to come through. Not able to get above this 830 data high. Tried to push highs here. Looks like we at least want to come back down here and chop. And Q, man, was holding the strongest out of all these. Wicked lower at 10. Made the nice case for the run-up. And they were trying it. They were trying it before we had whatever came in. Yeah, we got more information coming in, just for those of you that care. My stuff's delayed, and like I talked about, I'm going to work with like News Squawk or Live Squawk. Ceasefire in Lebanon and release of Iranian blocked assets must occur before negotiation. So yeah, they're talking, guys. This could go quickly. YM pushing lower. Rejection off of VWAP. Let's see what the market's got for me today. Like I said, guys, accept your risk, right? In these markets, decide how you want to try to manage headline markets. You want to pay attention to news. You want to not pay attention to news. You want to trade short-term, long-term, smaller position size, wider stops, bigger position size, tighter stops, in and out quick, scalping. But whatever you're going to do, when you put a trade on, recognize you don't know when anybody is going to say anything. The market, here's the saying, the market could do anything at any time for any reason. That's the truth. You can't predict a building collapsing, right? You can't predict a natural disaster. You can't predict a disease outbreak. You can't predict the U.S. administration saying something crazy, right? Or war, or, a foreign country launching a missile, right? All of those things would impact the market very quickly. So since you cannot predict any of that with any reasonable degree of certainty, when you put a trade on with risk, you are faced with the need, it's not an option, to fully accept that you may have to realize that risk. That's the cost of doing business. There is no reward without that risk, okay? There's no free lunch. You have to have money on. Have to have money on the table, right? So that's all we could do. That's all we could do. But I think it's really important to remember that. If you don't do that, then you open yourself up to all of those execution errors going on tilt, frustration, anger, you know, you didn't really want to lose $1,000 after it moved $400 in profit. You should have closed it out, right? You know? So, all important to think about those things. That's the mindset and psychology side. Let's see. Chat, appreciate you hopping on, man. Got a good stream going here, though. Holding along. Love the Elite Daily. Fortunate the Elite Daily going away, but excited to... Can't wait to see the new one. Probably won't be nearly as good. Yeah, the Elite Daily is insane. I don't know what the average control indicator is. I'm long ES on a few different accounts, and also YM on another account. Pretty wide stops on all of them. Yeah, see if we can get the push to the CPI wick. Yeah, so we were talking about this, guys. We're talking about this real quick while we're waiting for this market to decide if it wants to come down and stop me out or push up. Elite Daily accounts from Top 1 Futures. If you guys want to check this out, I will throw the link in the bio for 50% off. Code RDF gets you the link. These are going away on Sunday night. They've been live for a while. They are absolutely insane. One of the best eval accounts across any prop firm. Really, really sweet. Link in chat if you want to check it out. If you want to get your hands on them before they go away, code RDF going to get you the best deal, 50% off. These are pretty inexpensive evals, 3-day to pass, and then you're into an account with daily payouts. No consistency, no minimum trading days to pay out, end of day trailing drawdown. It's pretty wild. They got something else rolling, which I think is going to be pretty cool. I think it might be something like a very inexpensive eval with an activation fee. Maybe a little bit different rule set. But these are absolutely insane. If you slept on these and you're hearing about it now, I would put them up against the competition, compare them against everybody else, and then decide. Maybe you like somebody else, use code RDF there and get yourself an entry to win one of 5 50K accounts. Hop in the Discord if you want to check that out. Everybody that uses code RDF at any firm that I'm partnered and affiliated with is going to get one entry to win a 50K eval account next week. Let's see. Elite Daily's the best for me. Without activation, you guys liked? Yeah. Holding some longs. Nice. What is Bookmap? Hop on my YouTube. I got videos on Bookmap. Can you tell what you are looking in the CBD? Yeah, I'm gonna go through the same thing since we talked about it a lot. Just hop on my YouTube if you guys are there already. I have plenty of videos, long form videos, where I go through a lot of that stuff. I talk about, you know, what cumulative volume delta is, how I apply it within reason to my trading, what I'm looking for, you know, all of these different things. They're good questions. You guys are giving me stuff to talk about, but I went through it a couple times this week, so I don't want to bore everybody by talking about the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah, market's not liking not liking some of this fundamental. Ceasefire in Lebanon and release of Iranian-backed assets must occur before more negotiations. That's not great. It's not great. Not that I'm the fundamental-based trader, but I did talk about a lot over the last couple weeks the insane headline-driven volatile markets that we're in, which are not different. Well, I mean, which are very different. They're not the same as the markets we used to trade. So, you know, I'm paying attention to more of that stuff. A little bit more of the macro climate. And I'm going to use New Squawk next week. That's my game plan. It's a super duper expensive, curated live news alerts read out to you. If for nothing else, I think it'll be fun to talk about because you'll probably be able to get news faster than anywhere else if I'm listening to it and then repeating it. Let's see. Hopefully they drop the activation fee from what they currently have, unless they are Apex level cheap. Purple Ninja. I think they're gonna go to a little bit of the extreme here. Again, I don't want to give too much information, but I think they're gonna be like really cheap eval, really cheap, with really easy rules, and then a more expensive activation fee, like a higher activation fee, and you know, not as great maybe not as great, but just different rule set, right? You know, there's no free lunch. We talk about this with firms. You know, talk about all the firms. Hop in my Discord. You can look at the different guys that I'm trading with and I'm partnered with, right? I talk about Top One, TPT, Top Step, Lucid, Alpha, right? They all have their advantages and disadvantages, right? You know, there's no free lunch. You might say, well, I want to be able to take a $10,000 payout on the first day of my funded account. That's great. Take Profit Trader is going to be great for you. You're going to have to pass a 5-day eval, 5 trading days before you could pass. And then in the funded account, you have a $2,000 max loss limit that's intraday trailing drawdown that you have to get up over before you can withdraw anything, right? So significantly harder eval, significantly harder, or not harder eval, but longer eval. Significantly more difficult to work with funded account, but big upside opportunity, right? You might say, hey, I want something similar. I want a 3-day to pass eval. Let's do the Top One Elite Daily. I want a 3-day to pass eval, shorter. And I don't want intraday trailing drawdown. I want end of day trailing drawdown in the funded account. And as soon as I get over $2,000, I can start taking daily payouts. That's cool. You're going to have a payout cap, right? You know, you're going to work with something else. You might say, I want a 2-day to pass eval. You might deal with a consistency rule in funded, or 5 minimum trading days between payouts, right? Top Step, Lucid, you know, Alpha, right? So there's no like, in my humble opinion, there's no this is the best. There's just the best for you. You know, whatever your skill set, capital allocation, how you want to trade. You want no eval at all? Cool. You're gonna pay a higher price, and you're gonna have a consistency rule in funded. Maybe that's beautiful for you though, right? Like you might love that. You might say, dude, I'm not wasting time trading for fake money that I never stand to withdraw just to pass to get into an account that I need to trade again, right? No, I'm just going to go right to the funded account and I'll deal with a tighter rule set. So I think it's nice that we have so many different options. You know, find the sweet spot for you and then hammer it and then leverage the hell out of it. For me, like I talked about, I like the best rule set in funded, and I'm willing to you know, trade for that and pay for that if I have to. And for me, my choice out of all of these, you know, out of all these accounts, from Top One Futures, it's either the Elite Daily or the Instant Funded, the OG Instant Funded. From Top Step, they only have one, but it would be the, not the consistency path, the 5 minimum trading days path. No consistency rule, I prefer. Lucid Flex, that one is same thing, no consistency, 5 minimum trading days to payout. And then Alpha Advanced, I think. Alpha's the newest one I've been trading with. Advanced. I honestly have been researching the hell out of them. I have not touched them yet. I really have not been touching them yet. I've been researching the hell out of them this week. I like to just be fully versed in something before, you know, I make a stupid mistake and do something that I'm not supposed to do. Take Profit Trader is just one account. You know, it's an eval. Again, really, really big opportunity there. Awesome if you can get in and pass the buffer, but it's tough. It's tough. So, but those are all preference, right? You might say, nope, I'm instant funded, or I'm consistency rule evals. You know, there's no problem. That's why I think it's silly when traders go, this is the best ever. Is it? Or is it just different? Some of them are less competitive than others. Some of them, the price and the rules are just not as favorable to the trader. They're just objectively worse. But that's kind of the thoughts on evals. Chilling, man. Holding on to this bad boy. Coming into 11 o'clock here, guys. I'm hanging out. Good conversation as always, man. There's always a crutch on the various firm account types. You have to choose what you can work with, for sure. Any giveaway? Maybe if we run the likes up, I don't know. We got 70 people on here right now and 31 likes. I don't know. I don't think you guys really want a giveaway. The like count is so damn low. Last week we had to hit, this week we had to hit 100 before we did a giveaway. We got 73 people on here on YouTube alone. We got another couple dozen across X and Kick. We got like no likes. I don't know. Maybe we run the likes up, we'll run a giveaway. I don't know. What do I know, man? What do I know? I don't know. You guys show me in the likes if you want a giveaway. We'll go by that. I'll let you decide if we have a giveaway or not. Talking markets, but if you guys have questions, talk about trading, talk about prop firms, talking about whatever you want to talk about, I'm happy to yap to a degree. Can't stand activation fees. I'm going to load up on eval Sunday night. Yeah. Okay, just to be clear about this. Let me be really clear about this, guys. The Elite Daily account from top 1 is going away, okay? This is going away this weekend. I wouldn't wait until the last minute to load up, but you're able to buy them, okay? This is going away. These are some of the most competitive, again, like most competitive. Is it the best? I don't know. It depends on you. Put them up against other evals. The daily payout accounts, like when you look at just daily payout accounts, because there's not that many of them out there, these are some of the best. The 50K, just to run through it really quickly, in case you're like, I want to know about it, I don't want to miss it, like because a couple of you guys just said, I'm going to load up. $3,000 profit target, 45% consistency rule in the challenge. So it's a 3-day to pass, okay? $2,000 max loss limit, these are standard, right? End of day trailing drawdown. Once you pass, there's no consistency rule and no minimum trading days to payout, okay? No activation fee. If you need to reset the eval, it resets cheaper than the price, which some of them don't. You could also reset the funded. They're one of the only daily payout accounts that you could reset. Take Profit Trader is another example of them, right? But end of day trailing drawdown in the funded account. Insane. Insane. You have to get over a $2,000 buffer, similar to all in the 50K account. You have to get over a $2,000 buffer, and you can withdraw up to $1,000 from day 1. And then you can continue to withdraw back to back to back. If you guys want to check it out, link is in the chat. These are going away. Don't say that I didn't warn you. I'll say it in Discord as well. Again, they're going to roll out something a little bit different, and I'll be talking about it next week. But I would not sleep on these if you want one of the easiest to work with, easiest rule set, easiest to get a payout type of accounts, man. These are mint. These are mint. Code RDF gonna get you the best deal. And when the new ones drop, we'll be talking about it next week. What do I know? I just work here. Yeah. What do I know? I just decided we have a giveaway or not. Oh, man. Free fire on volume profile. And your preferences on volume profile. Ranges you use. Yeah. Yep. Tons of that. You can only withdraw above the buffer, I thought. You can. Correct. You can only withdraw above the buffer. Meaning you put up $2,000 and you're able to start withdrawing above that. So if you make $3,000 on day 1, you're able to withdraw. And if you make another however much money, again, the next day, you can withdraw. In no prop firm can you just make a buffer and then withdraw into the buffer. Or just withdraw without making any money. The competition for those elite dailies and Fund Index bolts and Trade Advice Select. Same rules, basically, across both. Similar. If you want to look at a video, listen, guys, I go to work for you. This is a great point. Purple Ninja. Let me show you something here. As I'm watching this market just decide if it wants to drift around or not. Again, if you're interested in daily payout style accounts, kind of late to the party because these are going away. But I did a ultimate daily payout prop firm comparison where I put side by side in a chart. I know this is really small because it's like super duper small. Top 1 futures, Funded Next Bolt, Tradeify Select Daily, Take Profit Trader, and My Funded Futures Rapid side by side. These were all of the daily payout style accounts that I could find. And I broke down all of the rules, eval, funded, what you have to do to get to paid out, the whole deal, pricing, everything. If you guys want to check it out, it's on my site. It's on YouTube. More than happy to have you guys check that out. I try to do a lot of those comparison videos. I think the comparison sites are like overdone and annoying. And I used to like watching videos where people went side by side with rules, put everything side by side, and then I can go confirm it myself. and then I'll decide, you know, which one I want to trade with. But take a look. Top one has an edge in multiple spots. The others have an edge in other spots. You know, not all of them are the same. The My Funded Futures and the Take Profit Trader are the most different because they have a really big payout opportunity, but an intraday trailing drawdown in funded. Again, you know, no free lunch, right? I think if Top One wanted to give you guys a $10,000 payout opportunity, you know, they would put a intraday trailing drawdown on unrealized profit, right? And a 5-day to pass eval that would be more expensive, you know? But yeah, check it out. Yeah, you could, if you get it before it goes away, you could still trade it, right? You can still trade accounts after they change. Everybody gets grandfathered in. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want the elite daily counts, get them today. Today is the day. Don't sleep. They are going away. As expected, right? Like, they're really good. Big surprise, guys. Like, these are insane. When they launched, I talked a lot about it. It was a few weeks ago. You know, I traded some evals with you guys. These are insane. When you find stuff that is really good, oftentimes, it just doesn't last that long. These, in my humble, biased opinion, because I'm partnered and affiliated, right? These are really good. I think there's other really good stuff out there, right, that I'm partnered with and not partnered with that I talk about. But these are insane. Absolutely insane. Feel free to check them out. Link is in the chat. Let's see. Some people hit the like button, but not enough, man. 53 likes? I don't think you guys want a giveaway. I don't think you guys want some free accounts today. Does Top One stop charging monthly if you get funded? Yeah. Yeah, if you pass the eval, you get funded. And you don't have to charge. You don't get charged. Similar to almost all firms. Chat. Questions, concerns, hate speech, so I can ban you. Watching this market move, man. I'd love to catch the W on stream. I don't know that we're gonna get it. I might have to just do the long hold on this one. But I'm not going anywhere just yet. I'm waiting for you guys to run the likes up. Maybe if we get to, I don't know, like I think like 80 would be pretty cool. Like 80 likes would be pretty cool. I don't know. You guys hit like 100 and something last time. But let's talk about this real quick. Couple things coming up. Number one. This giveaway is active. Okay? Giveaway is active. 50K accounts. Every purchase using code RDF gets you an entry to win one of 5 accounts across all firms. If you want all the details and the information and how to actually enter, hop in the Discord. Hop in the free Discord. Link is in the chat, which I'm going to drop again to you guys. 100% free. No course, no VIP, no mentorship. Free sauce. Okay? I am partnered and affiliated with firms and software companies that I use and like and make money from. Beautiful, mutually beneficial relationship. You know why? You don't have to click anything. You don't have to use a code. You can hang out here and maybe win a free giveaway today that we're going to run with no purchase necessary. You can get all of my trading information and pick my brain and be part of the community and share and watch all the videos. You don't have to click or code or link or anything. And I would encourage you not to unless you decide for yourself that something that I am talking about is the best deal for you. Past that, these are going away this weekend. We've been talking a lot about it. Top One Futures daily payout accounts, the Elite Daily, are going away. They've been around for a minute here. They're making a change. They're going to roll something out. I think it's going to be pretty sweet. Spirit fingers. But don't sleep if you want these, man. Code RDF going to get you the best deal. Link is also in the chat. Top1futures.com if you miss it. Outside of that, in the Discord, as we push right up through these highs, here we go, guys. We're going to absolutely run highs. Get ready for the insane pump. We're going to make $50,000 on this trade. No, I'm just kidding. Outside of that, in the Discord, if you're in the Discord, if you're not in the Discord, whatever the heck you do, please verify. Verify with an email. There is a channel in there. I've been tagging everybody. I've been telling everybody a million times. Please do me a favor and verify with email. If you don't want to verify with email, no problem. You don't have to be in the Discord. But hop in there, verify with email. Not only am I going to lock the Discord to only people that verify with their email, I am starting a new email list where I'm going to give you guys probably, I'm going to keep a little bit surprised, probably some higher time frame levels, probably some magical levels, couple emails a week, giving you my charts, key levels, talking about the markets, maybe a little bit of technical, maybe a little bit of macro. Probably pretty simple, probably pretty straightforward with just key levels, volume profile, market structure, price action, right? And then I'll also be updating you on the live trading schedule, fun stuff we got coming up online, in person, and then, of course, giveaways like crazy and best deals from partners, right? Stuff that I'm highlighting. So feel free to hop on there, man. I promise not to spam you. I'm not going to send 47,000 emails every day. Going to be at most a couple a week. At most a couple a week. But probably not even that much. I don't need to send you guys that much stuff. And you can unsubscribe at any time. Even if you want to verify, but you don't want any of the emails, you could also unsubscribe, of course. So that's the updates that I got coming up here, guys. That's the updates that I got coming up. Bunch of fun stuff in Discord. We got the new leveling system. We're ranking everybody up. Everybody's getting cool colors for participating. If you have questions and everything, I'm going to hop in Discord after I get off the live stream. Make sure the email thing is rolling and rank some people up. Or make sure MEE6, the bot, is ranking people up the way that it should be. 61 likes. You guys are trying it. You guys are trying it. Sweet. Jake, no, I think there's a 1 trade per month to keep the account active. So one question. There's no time limit to pass the eval. There is. There's a monthly fee. There's a monthly fee, right? So it's not a one-time fee. It's not a one-time fee. Monthly. You get a month to pass the eval. I think Lucid right now is the only one that has a one-time fee where it doesn't rebill, it doesn't reset at all. But that's the updates. As I'm watching to see if you guys smash the like button, and if we want to go and run these highs. Talking this trade, guys. This is a long hold, right? This is a long hold, and this is what I like to do. I like to hang on to my stuff. Diamond hands. Where's the Bruce Lee meme? Hold on one second. The GIF. The GIF? The GIF? I don't even know how to say it. This is the best one. This is what I like to post when I'm holding something all day for 12 hours. Diamond hands. Stop panic selling, bro. Hang on to your trades. Hang on to your trades. Y'all are FOMOing out down here. FOMOing out down here. You never let the damn thing play out. It might be a loss. It might come all the way back down. You ain't never going to realize a big day if you close out early. Okay? Not saying you guys swing for the fences, but you ain't never going to hit a home run if you bunt every time you're up at bat. All right? Now, it's a balance, guys. It's a balance. Trust your data. Trust your data. I talked about this a lot. And you can watch my trades. You can go back and look at my trades. Far more often, I close out when there's more room to run. It's far less where I close out perfectly at the top of the move and then it runs to my stop loss. So I will try to move in that direction. Try to move in that direction. But remember what Bruce Lee said. Diamond hands, which is the crazy crypto meme. I have a question. I buy a contract with a stop loss. Midway, I lost my stop loss because I accidentally clicked it using a phone. Will I still get a soft breach from not having a stop loss? Vertigo. I was swapping from TradingView to YouTube. Yeah, Vertigo. So if you have an account that, I don't know what you're trading, but if you have an account that has a daily loss limit, that's a soft breach, you should get taken out around the daily loss limit. It's usually not exact. Usually it's like worse, right? You know, if the daily loss limit is $1,000, usually by 1,100, 1,200, it closes out the trade. And then you would get a soft breach. You know, maybe that's into your max loss limit and you lose the entire account. You know, that's what would happen for the most part. Thanks, man. 67 likes. Tradify removed monthly fee. Nice. Nice. So their evals are not monthly. They're just all in pricing. DM you on Instagram. Cool. Thanks, Sen. Yeah, I'll unban you. Again, I don't really ban or kick anybody unless they're hacked or they're doing something crazy, and your account popped up with like crazy like, join this thing for free money or free laptop or whatever. So I figured you were either hacked or you lost your mind. Yes, one-time fee now. Nice. Yeah, I'm assuming we'll get that from more firms. I'm assuming we'll get that from Top One and others. I think it's cool to not have a time limit. For me these days, it doesn't matter anymore. I just sometimes accidentally have them rebill, and that just wastes my money. But I'm not taking a month to get through evals. But I do think it's nice for the completely beginner trader to say, I'm just gonna buy one and just take like my sweet ass time. For like, I'm gonna say like 90%, 95%, they don't make it past a month. They either pass or fail in a month. So, you know, I think that's more of an optical illusion for traders. Again, there's a very small subset where I think it is helpful to only have, you know, a one-time fee, because they do maybe are going to trade that account for multiple months. But just the data behind it, I like, you know, sorry to ruin your day if that's a sad stat to know. Most traders don't make money. Most traders don't make it to a payout. Most traders don't pass evals. We know all that, right? Most traders don't hold on to evals or funded accounts for 30 days. Not even, you know, not even close to the majority. So anyway, guys, I'm hanging tight here. I'm watching you guys smash the like button. I'm watching this trade move. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go refill my water. We'll see. Maybe we run a giveaway. I don't know. You guys gonna hit the like button or what? I don't know. I can't tell. Chatty McChat. What are we doing here, dude? What are we doing? All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. You've been cool. You've been hanging out. It's Friday. NQ's about to rip to the upside. ES about to rip to the upside. YM is about to come through the high and put a zillion points on the board for me. This is a little bit scary. That's a little bit scary. I don't know about all that, guys. We got a little Dorito pattern, man. This is getting tight here. I think what's coming next is either or. That's the sound it's actually going to make, too. It's going to go. It's very technical. That's the sound that the algorithms make at the CME. The Chicago Board of Trade, actually, because we're trading YM. All right, here's what we're going to do. You guys are cool. You're hanging out. Give away 100 likes. Must be in free Discord. Link in chat. Bang. I don't want to put... Here's the ADHD kicking in. Boom. Giveaway at 100 likes, guys. Let's make this nice so we can watch it. And there you go. Okay. Link is in the chat. We're going to get somebody funded today. Yeah. Go ahead and join the Discord. Don't be panicking. I'm gonna read that in a second, guys. First, I want to get you guys on X. X! What's up, Twitter? We got so many of you guys. What's going on? You guys love Twitter these days, huh? I'm posting more on Twitter. I gotta talk to everybody on Twitter. I gotta hop on there. Y'all are looking scary on Twitter. I don't know. Twitter, if you want to hop in the 100% free trading Discord and be part of the giveaway. What? Why can't I post my link here? Twitter, X. There you go. Link is in the chat. Link is in the chat on Twitter as well. So if you guys want a chance to win an account, we're going to give out a Top 1 Futures 50K account. Shout out Top 1 Futures. We've been talking about them a lot today. It's who I've been trading with now for a minute. Making some money with these guys. And watching a lot of other guys make money with them. Hop in the Discord. Colby Clark. It's rinsing them, bro. That's probably the reason they're changing it. Gotta be in the chat. Gotta be in the Discord. I don't know what's going on today, man. All right. Nope, it's just going to keep doing that thing. Mad annoying. Anyway. Let's see. Let's see what the market's got for us today, guys. So go ahead, smash the like button if you want. Hop in the free Discord if you want. Remember, free means free, man. You don't have to do anything. If you're like, hey, Zach, I don't care about giveaways. I don't care about Discords. I don't care about anything. I just want to listen to you yap about trading and watch you trade. Cool, man. Hop on. Maybe you say, hey, you know what, Zach? I do want to go in Discord, but I don't want to be part of your mailing list, and I don't want to be part of the giveaways, and I don't want to say or do anything. That's cool. You can do that too, man. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you guys, man. It's Friday. It's a good Friday. And I appreciate you guys. Gonna get this giveaway form rolling because oh yeah, look at that. Look at the like button getting smashed, guys. I mean, I don't know why you gotta make me ask for it. I don't know, like you know we're gonna do giveaways and stuff, but it's all good. It's all good. I could ask. It's okay. Uh-oh. Couldn't sustain the pop to the upside. Yeah, these are going to try to figure out what we're going to do today. All of these US indices are feeling like they're about to figure out which way we're going today. Kick. You guys were talking about kick. For me, the only thing top 1 is missing to be perfect is letting us use Trade C. Yeah, Trade C. They've been in talks with Trade C. Actually talked about that with them this week. They've been in talks with Trade C. Trade C's brand new, and I know that they have a ton of demand right off the bat, so I think that they're probably, like getting everybody set up and onboarded. But Trade C is also a risk factor, right? For the firm. Because if any prop firm says, well, here's a brand new platform, it's been out for a couple months, you can buy our accounts and trade on them, right? And if the platform goes down or goes sideways or something goes crazy, that could be bad. That could be bad for the trader. It could be bad for the prop firm. It could be bad for the platform, everybody involved. So, I do think there was a level of like, well, let's just watch this for a couple months and make sure like it doesn't melt down. Or a couple weeks, I should say. But I know they've been talking to Trade C. Let's go, let's go. Smash the likes, you know it. Hey, Zach, you the GOAT? I don't think I'm the GOAT, guys. I definitely don't think I'm the greatest of all time. I think there's a lot of traders out there in general. There's a lot of futures traders out there. There's a lot of live streamers. And I think there's plenty that are better than me. Just objectively, by their statistics, by the money they make, by what they do, right? That's cool. Different, but maybe you still find value from another dude trying to put some money up in these damn crazy markets, right? But I think a lot of people say, I'm the best, I'm the GOAT, nobody does it like me, nobody's ever done anything like me before, I'm changing the game. Really? Really? Are you? Are you changing the game? Are you the best ever? Nobody is better than you? You're the best trader ever? You? Not all of the other guys over there? Nobody else that in history? Okay. But yeah, I appreciate you. It's going up or down. Yeah, smash the likes. 3 day to pass, top 1. Cool. Cool. Crazy win streak, not gonna lie, the GOAT to me. Yeah, we've been on a heater. Right? Really been on an absolute heater, guys. Well, we could talk about that for a second. As I'm watching this market, looks like it doesn't want to pull it, man. Looks like it really doesn't want to pull it. YM could not even climb back up to to this area of high volume before ES and NQ got to their highs. Man, this is a tough one. YM just not doing it today. Again, really like the trade, really like the entry, like the hold. This was just not enough for me relative to my stop loss and what I want to see out of this market. We're gonna have to see on this one, but it's making the case potentially for a drift lower. We had some nasty news break in here, right? We talked about that. Market was moving really nice, and then comments out of Iran's parliament speaker, and the market didn't like that at all. Talked about this being a headline-driven market, so we're gonna have to see. But I'm holding on to this one. I'm not gonna have another, at least for right now, right? To this point or this point on YM, I won't have another setup. So taking it off here for $300 really doesn't do anything for my day. Closing out at break even before just taking a full stop or a full take profit really just doesn't do anything for me. So, and it just doesn't make really good logical sense the way that I utilize my discretion. So I'm going to hold on to this. I'm looking for this to continue to the upside. If we come through these lows aggressively, it would make the case for us to be moving lower, but I think we really easily could do this one more time. I think we could take out liquidity down here. I think we could have trapped longs for this to be a really big bullish day. And I think that all of these might pull a really nasty clean out move, and that would include a move through my entry and maybe below this low. So, as we're ripping lower, I'm not going to get out of this. It's just, that's not the invalidation point, even as price action market structure forms here, right? Same thing on NQ and ES. Before we go higher, what do? Potentially go lower. So I think these could pull a gnarly clean out move. Kind of feels like that's what's coming, but I'm leaving this one on. Long story short, leave this one on. But it's going to be a long hold, guys. It's going to be a long hold. Let's see, 90 likes. Y'all are almost there. 100 likes for the giveaway, guys. Trying desperately to fix some glare. All right, what else we got, guys? What else we got? Move will likely happen. Nasdaq making highs, so good. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, right? Again, I put my trades on with confidence, right? With arrogant confidence. And at the same time, that I don't know what's going to happen next, right? Nobody does. Despite you believing that you can know with any reasonable degree of certainty what's about to happen next, we don't, right? We don't. All we can do is put our trades on as the setups present themselves, structure our risk, and then manage those trades to the best of our abilities. Excuse me. For this one, you know, again, I had an opportunity to close out 600, 700 bucks up here. This did show me, you know, again, not a bad entry here. 91, 48, 191 long. We had to take 37 points of heat, and I can't even look at this one. This showed me 156 points of profit. You know, not a bad overall position in the market. Am I able to realize what I want to realize out of it? Does the market give me what I want today? No, that's all out for debate. But for me on this one, I don't mind holding this. Again, I think if we are, this is decision-making point. If we're going to come lower, we're coming through this entry really aggressively to the stop. Maybe we dance around one more time here before pulling back up. If we're going to continue the upside, I'm positioned from the near the low of day for a really nice move back up to the upside. So I'm going to let that play out. I'm going to let that play out. Without doing anything crazy. And I'm going to hang out with you guys, have good conversation, and then get somebody funded with a top 150K. Shout out top one. Let's see, 94 likes. You guys are almost there. ES has great distribution. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by great distribution, like distribution of price. NQ, like if I had to classify these, they're kind of just all on their own. NQ's been the strongest out of all of them. Only touched VWAP, cracking through at 10, and then has pushed the high of day. You know, really just continued to push the highs. It's holding above VWAP, albeit pulling back right now. ES has kind of been the choppiest out of all these. Like this is tough. You know, we're holding VWAP. We've been bouncing off of it all day, so I'm sure the ASFX boys are getting their beautiful, you know, 10, 15 point VWAP trades off of this. I think that'd be pretty sweet if you're trading bounces off VWAP, but this is pretty choppy back and forth up here. Really not continuing if you're looking for a breakout. And then YM, you know, on the other end of the coin is sold off. It's been the weakest out of all of these. Sold off aggressively through VWAP into the open, bounced really nicely back to VWAP, and then has not been able to get back above. Not pushed prior day high or pre-market high in NYSE session. So these are really not agreeing with each other here. But we're fixing to find out. Fixing to find out. Let's see. Let's see. Waiting for our weather down here in Florida to get back to normal so I can take the kayak out. Nice, Slotfather. I feel that, man. Yeah, it's been all over the place, man. Are we supposed to get a nicer weekend? Hopefully. Crazy rain, man. I'm getting tired of it. Hey, Zach, any ducky today? Maybe. Maybe. Remember, guys, giveaways on the stream. I mean, based on what we have on the chart, maybe that you can read it. But giveaways on the live streams are random days, random times. I run them all the time, but random days, random times. You don't have to ask me because I'm not going to tell you. And you don't have to beg me for it because I'm also not going to do it, honestly. I have a policy from the beginning against giving any handouts or sending money or any of that stuff, regardless of situation. So I don't do that either, as do most not do. But random days, random times. If you want all of the info on all of the giveaways, because I run so many different ones across different platforms, Discord. Discord's always going to give you the best update. As far as here on the live streams, It looks like we're gonna do a giveaway at 100 likes. You have to be in the free Discord, and the link is in chat to join the free Discord. But I don't know. I don't know. Hit the like button, guys. 6 more likes. Forget the duck race. The real question is, when are the braids making their comeback? Oh man, when are the cornrows making their comeback? Chris, that is the real question. That's the question that people want. That's the question that people want answers on. When are the cornrows coming back? That's a good question. We'll have to see. I don't know. Maybe the next trip. Maybe the next trip to a tropical country. 98 likes, guys. Damn, man, you're bringing yourself right there. Bringing yourself right there. ES. CVD dropping off a little bit as we come into some liquidity. We finally, Phil was hanging out here. It's not nothing down below, man. So we certainly could dip. Again, talking about the trade management on my YM trade. I'm not going stop to break even on this. I don't have an invalidation point right here. I think I would just stop myself out, in which case I should just take $200 and be on my way. I'm waiting for the larger move. I'm a little bit disappointed that we couldn't crack higher than this. And, you know, this was a bit of the mean reversion move, unfortunately, today. Just didn't get enough out of it, you know. Probably wouldn't have had to have it come all the way up through value area high into this volume point of control. 60, 70 points. Another 60, 70 points would have done it for me. Now, it's just going to be the longer hold. Either we're going to sell off really aggressively lower. There's a case for a nasty clean out before a bounce and a drive higher into the afternoon, but we're kind of getting past that on time. So I'm going to try to survive a nasty wick lower if we get it, in case we start to bounce after doing that one more time. But we're really not making the case for this move higher. This feels like we were going to chop. We were maybe going to run highs. We were maybe going to come back in. And what do we get right in here? Some serious volatility on news. We got some talks on... This looks volatile right here. We got some more talks on Iran. Headline market that we're still in, and the market does not like it. We got something else breaking right now, I could tell. Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to be cooked. Trump prepare a military if Iran fails to comply in talks. God, man. It's just headlines, dude. We're just trading headlines here. Talked a lot about this, but it's going to have to adapt. Going to have to continue to adapt to this, but we are... It really feels like day in and day out we're just trading news, like, every day. It's just news-driven headlines. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that. I doubt that it follows through, but that's like 3 or 4 now negative comments. It is what it is, chat. It is what it is. FOMC every day. Yeah, we're just trading headlines every day. It's a news day every day. Unexpected, right? Like unscheduled news events. It's like CPI throughout the day, like just at random times all day. I don't know. Anyway, how do you mark volume profile? I've mentioned this a lot, guys. Session volume profile, visible range volume profile. I've got videos on it on my YouTube. You're here on YouTube. A poor life guy. In a nutshell, what is your method? I don't know that that's helpful. To give you a nutshell, it's probably just going to be not enough information. In a nutshell, if you want to get my method, I show you it live here every day for free. But I don't think that a couple sentences summarizing it is going to be of much value. But But. How'd you do on likes here, guys? Oh, 101 likes. Nobody said anything. Nobody said anything. We got a giveaway rolling in Discord, guys. Hold on. This is... Let's do it. Giveaway form is live in Discord as we watch this trade come back down to run must stop. Go ahead, get this one filled out. Live for, hold on. Live giveaway form. Active for... Active until, let's say, 11:52 a.m. Bam. You guys got about 10 minutes. Go ahead and get the form filled out. It's in Discord. Like I've said 1,000 times. Hop in Discord, verify in Discord, fill the form out in Discord. I'm not going to give you guys a million different instructions. I'm just going to tell you, if you do not follow instructions, as somebody always does not do, you won't win the account. Follow all of the instructions. The instructions are all clearly listed on the giveaway form, which is in the giveaway channel in Discord. Link to the Discord is in the chat. Oh, man. Philosophy. Yeah, I like philosophy. How do you conquer emotions on closing trades too soon or taking L's? It's a couple different ways, Hansel. It's a good question. I see we got some other good questions here. So while you guys are getting the form filled out, feel free to drop trading questions. I'll try to yap. And I don't mean to not answer certain things, guys, or sometimes not read things. I gotta pick and choose how many I answer. And also, if I have a ton of repeat videos on stuff and I've talked about things over and over again, I'll sometimes just tell you to go watch a video, right? You'll probably just get better out of watching the 10-minute video than me try to go through it as I'm trading here. How do you conquer emotion of closing trades too soon or taking L's? Yeah, so two ways, Hansel. One is experience. Actually, three things. Experience in the markets, right? If you close a trade out early 100 times, and 90 of those times it runs for another 50 points in your direction, at a certain point, you just get disgusted with yourself and you start to adjust. So experience. An understanding of the game of probabilities that we're playing. A really solid understanding of the game that we're playing here. That I have to try to create an edge in the market, exploiting some combination of technicals and fundamentals. And with that, I'm going to enter directionally where I'll make money if one thing happens and lose money if another thing happens, right? And at the same time, I have to understand and hold this belief that I have no idea what's going to happen next. I do not know if the next trade is going to be a winner or a loser. I can't possibly know, right? On the short term. The long term, hopefully we have some consistency over a large sample size. When you start to wrap your head around that, the importance of any one trade or being right or wrong or closing a trade out too quickly or closing a trade out for a loss or win or doing all this, it starts to not make sense. It just doesn't line up logically with what you know, right? You have to kind of build a core belief. And the third piece to all of this is just discipline. Build some damn discipline. If you are completely undisciplined in every other area of your life, okay? You don't keep promises to yourself. You're not a disciplined person. You're not going to be disciplined on the charts. I've yet to see that person. I've never found that person. That's just an absolute degenerate mess in their general life and then a really good trader. They don't exist. I have not seen them. So you will have to build some discipline to stick to things when they're uncomfortable, when you don't want to do them, right? So that's kind of the core, right? through experience, watching the markets, you get better. You get better at reading the markets, you get better at executing your system. You get better at following over a large sample size of trades, right? The next 1 or 2 trades doesn't trip you up so much. You stop strategy hopping. You read all the books. Read Trading in the Zone, read Best Loser Wins, read The Mental Game of Trading, read all of it. Market Wizards. You start to understand the game of probabilities that we're playing here. You start to understand that it's no holy grail, right? It's the way that you think about trading. You start to apply some of that. And then eventually you go, I got to make a change. I got to become a disciplined person. Or you don't, So that's how I kind of overcome some of that. But that's the sauce. That's the sauce. New to watching you trade. You said you'd rather not break even to catch a bigger move. If you expect the market to go lower and you get out at break even, could you get a better entry? Yeah, it's a good question. It's a good question. The theory is, if you're watching the market, can you get out and get back in? Can you close out a trade and then, get in for a better point? Or maybe can you close out for some profit and then enter back in lower again? The answer for the most part and for most traders is like no. You're now creating a new system, a new edge, a new way of trading, and maybe that works for you personally or for other traders. For me personally, like how I manage my trades, most of the time it's a full take profit, or excuse me, most of the time it's a full loss or a take profit at a discretionary level. I don't like to run fixed stops. I have an arbitrary one way out here, so I have an OCO in case I walk away. The other option is stop loss to break even. What I find personally, regardless of what I think, regardless of my discretion, regardless of price action, regardless of news, what I see happen based on my data, this only comes from experience and tracking your results. Specifically here on YM with this style of trading, this, a time horizon, this mean reversion style, going stop loss to break even, regardless of everything else, hurts me more than it helps me. I have more trades far more often move against me, stop me at break even, and then move in my direction than I do this. These exist, and I very well may have to realize one today. But if I continue to stop myself at break even, knowing that 8 out of 10 trades that I've been stopped out of break even over the last 50 trades that I've taken have moved in my direction and only 2 have moved to my stop loss, I will never realize the 8 that could have won and the 2 that would have lost if I keep going stop loss to break even. So I will go stop loss to break even with discretion. I try. I love doing it. It feels good, right? It's one of those things that very simple. It's risk free. You don't have to watch profit come back and stop you out, but doesn't help you. For the most part, I'll do it if it really shows me aggressive profit quickly. That's one case, really close to a take profit, and I missed the take profit. I just know that I'm not going to feel good about the whole thing coming down. Mindset piece. Maybe I have a good way to have a clean validation point. My entry is here, and I'm like, dude, if we come through this low, I don't want to be in. I want to be out. Different price action, market structure. We have crazy news breaking. Insane news breaking where we pop really aggressively and I'm holding on. I'm going to go stop loss to break even because I think we could just, rip faces off lower. But in general, for the most part, it hurts me more than it helps me. Not for everybody, right? You're only going to know that by tracking your data, like looking at your results. What happens? What happens after you go stop loss to break even and then you get stopped out? Are you saving yourself full stop outs, or are you realizing break evens that could have been, winners? And then you try to adjust for that. I went stop loss to break even. I haven't done it in a long period of time with you guys. I went stop loss to break even, took the stop out, and what would have happened on that trade earlier this week? Would have been like a 500-point winner. So, same thing with holding trades longer, right? Not every trade is going to go 400 points in favor, right? This might be it. This today might be the day where it goes 150. And had I capped it at 150, I could have walked away with $750, right? But if I realize that 80 out of the next 100 trades that I take will continue past 150 to 200, 300 points in profit, all the way up to the area that I'm targeting, and 20 out of the 100 will only go a little bit in profit and then come to stop me out, I'll never realize the full potential of my trading system. I'll constantly stop myself out for a negative risk to reward. I won't have those, you know, those outsized winning days that we need. I won't have those larger winners, or just larger winners in general. So, you know, that's the overall thought process, right? There's a lot of sayings. There's a lot of sayings, guys, and I'm not a fan of any of them, right? There's a lot of axioms in trading. Never let a winner turn into a loser. Always take some profit when it becomes available to you, right? Never add to a losing trade. And then conflicting stuff, like let your winners run. Give your trades room to breathe. Don't go so tight with stop losses, right? Don't run a fixed take profit. There's a lot of conflicting stuff. And it's always easy in hindsight to make a call like that. Very difficult in real time. So I'm not a fan of a lot of these sayings. How can you possibly never let a winning trade turn into a loser? How is that possible? You will enter every single trade with 0 ticks of stop loss. After it moves a certain point, should you not let it turn into a loser? How do you know that? Does your data support that? Or are you just, you know, you're just calling that out? You know, people will say trade with a fixed risk to reward. Why, right? You know, how do you know that everybody should be doing that? So, you know, I think trust your data, review, try to do a little bit more of what's working, a little bit less of what's not. That's what I try to apply to my trading. Painful, of course, when it doesn't go the way that you want it to, but, you know, for this one, there's nothing for me to do but hold it. Really nothing for me to do but hold it. Yo, those sayings are usually for options, to be honest. Yeah, I see people that, we're getting ready to do this giveaway, guys. I see people that say them across the board, right? I get a lot of comments, right? Like if this one, like it's very easy to say, gosh, man, I can't fix this thing. Like, I trade live, right? I trade, you know, in front of a community with you guys. We got hundreds of people watching. I trade with other traders. The comments are the same, right? Here's the easy comment. Had I closed out here and the market ran, the negative comments or the thought is never close your winning trades early. Always let your winners run. The market's moving in your favor. Trail your stop loss up, right? All the things that would have worked on that day. You know, if this happened, maybe we didn't even get back to VWAP and then it comes down to stop me out. Never let a winning trade turn into a loser. Always go stop loss to break even. Always take some profit when the market makes it available to you. Right? It's always easy to overanalyze and, you know, and get set on one specific day. The overarching thing that I like to think of is, what is your data screaming at you? You know, what is your data really showing you over a large sample size of trades? Not today, not yesterday, not the day before. 20 trades, 30 trades, 40 trades. You know, the last 6 months of data. Are you noticing one thing happening over another with your trade management specifically, which is what we're talking about? If the answer is yes, you got to try to make that painful move to change that. You got to try to make that painful move to change that. So for me today, it's holding my trade, no stop loss to break even, no clipping it for a 0.6R, 0.7R as we got back up to VWAP. Holding this thing all the way to an invalidation point. All the way to an invalidation point. Unfortunately, today, that maybe means being on the wrong side of some Trump comments that continue to come out. Right? Part of it. Part of it. Didn't catch saying what website you watch for live news. So I don't have it set up yet, but I'm going to mess with News Squawk. Or Live Squawk. Those both are really expensive paid live news websites, or as real time as you can get. I'm going to be testing some of those next week. But right now, you could look at Financial Juice if you don't want to pay for anything. Those are pretty solid. As this trade comes back down on me, guys, we're going to do the giveaway. Giveaway time, guys. We're going to get ready to run some ducks. No longer accepting responses. Let's run it. Let's get somebody funded. Part of the game, guys. Part of the game. And something that I really got to challenge myself to do more of. Hold the trades longer. Hold the damn trades all night. All day and all night. And don't go stop loss break even. take the losses that are going to come from, you know, the other side of that, because it's a double-edged sword. But, you know, the easy stuff, the clipping the trades early, you know, it's just the data screams at me and most others to not do that. So today, if I have to realize this full L, I'm going to pat myself on the back. I'm going to say, you exercised that muscle that you know you need to exercise. You did the hard thing. Held your trade at very least to the point that you wanted to see for a mean reversion style play. Really nice rejection on the wrong side of some news. No stop loss to break even. No managing the trade, doing anything too crazy. And realize that full L. That will come with holding your trades longer, with not going stop loss to break even. All right. We got some ducks in a row, guys. We got some ducks in a row. We have ducks in a row. Before we run the ducks, real quick, guys, remember, if you want to check out one of the accounts that we're giving away today, Top 1 Futures, code RDF will get you the best deal. Link is in the chat. In YouTube, in Kick, in everything. Let's see what you guys are saying on Kick in a second, Slothfather. I see you were chatting there. If you want a chance to win one of five 50K accounts, hop in the Discord. Anybody that uses code RDF, links and codes, supports me, supports the channel, supports anything, you're going to get an entry to win one of five 50K accounts. Details on how to enter, how to make sure everything's being tracked in Discord. Go ahead and hop in there. Let's go ahead and run it. Good luck, everybody. If you win, the account will come directly from Top 1 Futures after I verify that you actually followed the instructions, because so many people love to not follow the instructions. Hopefully. Hopefully. Let's see. Mad respect. Appreciate you guys, for sure. Quack, quack. Chat. Form is closed. Yes, the form's done. Can't see where I'm at. RIP. Slothfather. Let's see what we said. Add it to my short. We pull back. To view out. Nice. Now it needs to turn around and give you your win, Zach. Yeah. Yeah. Part of it, man. Part of it. We'll see. I'm going to hang on to this one, man. Obviously. Watch YM here over on the side. Yeah, just drifting lower, man. Drifting lower on a growing CVD. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, ES dropped off. ES fell out of bed. And Q, same thing. Pulled down really aggressively, grabbed some liquidity. We shall see. Let's go, Ducks. Yo, Zach, are you running Global or Global Plus on Bookmap? This is Global Plus. This is Global Plus. But both of them are going to give you the heat map. They're going to give you CVD. They're going to give you most of the tools that I use. Global Plus gives you a whole bunch of additional add-ins. A whole bunch of different add-ons that you could use. But if you want the best deal on Bookmap, link is in the chat. Or link is in Discord. I'm not going to be able to find the link right now. 50% off Bookmap. Let's see. 45 seconds to go. Who's going to get funded today, man? I bet like half these people didn't follow the rules. Well, if they win, we will know. Ton of people on stream. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Thanks for being here. We'll see. We'll see if these people are here in stream. We'll see if they followed the rules. We'll see if they did everything they were supposed to do. As we unfortunately watch this market make the case for a move lower. It does not like what Trump said today. Doesn't like what Iran said. Doesn't like what Trump said. Could be the sell-off into the weekend. Let's see who we got. Snow Jorb taking the W. Nobody go anywhere. Remember, we run it back if the people are not here and or they don't follow the instructions. Snow Jorb, you are following on YouTube. You're watching out of YouTube. Let's see. You are following on IG. Are you here in the chat in YouTube? We got W's. We got W's. Hang tight though, guys. Hang tight. We got to confirm it. Yeah, last ditch here on YM before we rip faces to the downside. Let's see. Let's get some W's in the chat. W's. Snow Jorb, he's here. Snow Jorb taking the W. You are going to get funded with a 50K Elite Daily account from Top 1 Futures. Shout out to my man. Appreciate everybody that's part of the giveaways. Appreciate everybody that's here. I appreciate the market, even though it might give me an L today. I appreciate the L that it's going to give me because it's given me so many W's. Maybe. I don't know. Trump might come back out and say we're good to go. You never know. Oh, listen, guys. Listen, guys. Y'all are awesome. Chat going crazy. Chat went absolutely crazy. Appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you. Couple of reminders. Let me make a note for the winner of this one. Snow Jorb account will come directly from Top 1 Futures at some point. Couple quick reminders. Guys, first and foremost, here's my trade. I'll keep you guys updated in Discord. If we pop back up, you know I'm taking a W. If we trade all the way down through the 48,000 evens, you know I'm taking an L. If I do anything in between there, I will try to call it out in Zach's trades. As I walk away, I'll probably set a stop, set a take profit that's a little bit tighter. I'll definitely set some alerts as I get ready to take a little break here for lunch. But long stream today, man. Long stream, fun. This is going to be the trade that I'm running into the afternoon here. It is 12:04 p.m. Eastern. We're moving into the afternoon. Let's see what we can get. Quick reminders. Number 1, Top 1 Futures account. This is going away. If you want to check it out, link is in the chat. Don't miss it. It's dipping out on this weekend. Hop in the free Discord and verify. Get your chance to win one of 5 50K accounts. Every person that uses code RDF, every purchase with an account using code RDF is also going to get you a chance to win one of 5 50K accounts. Across all the firms that I'm partnered and affiliated with, if you guys want to check that out, all of the detailed information is in Discord. I always try to keep you guys updated. Along with that, starting out, Key Levels email. Key Levels email will be starting out next week, so long as I have everything up and running. Guys, absolutely banger week this week. Absolutely banger week last week. We got a trade floating near break even. We're going to see how this one turns out. See if we're going to break the win streak today. I don't know. We're going to have to see. Listen, guys, I appreciate you hopping on here. Thank you for being here. Y'all are awesome. Go ahead, check out everything in Discord, and we'll be seeing you guys here next week, 9:15 a.m. Eastern, every damn day on YouTube, Kickin' X. Quick reminders, guys. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research, make your own trading decisions, read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if funded prop from accounts, and the affiliate partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Important for me to note that, for you to do your own research and make your own decisions. As we watch YM potentially break the lows here, guys. I kind of got to watch it now with you guys here. It's 12 o'clock. Yeah, we did disclaimers. I got to wrap it up. You guys know where my stop is. You know where my take profit is. If I manage this one, I'll do my best to call it out in the Discord. I'll do my best to call it out in Zach's trades. Talk to you guys soon. Have an awesome weekend. I hope you have a blessed weekend. Get some reviewing. Get off the charts. Touch some grass. Do something fun. Talk to you guys soon, man.